Alright, we're live. What's up, guys? It's only 2:40 in the morning. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the late night stream. Yay! Look at that off-center camera. Ah, classic. Can we lift this a bit? Alright, very good. Who's here? Okay. We're gonna grab this. Haha. Okay. Let's plant the menu in there. Here are the tags. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Friday night, Saturday morning. Basically Saturday. I think it's Saturday even in California. So let's see. This is the early morning stream. Let's say happy birthday, LaFlame. Giveaway. We're also going to say PRB02 in stock. And what else is interesting? Happy birthday, LaFlame giveaway. PRB2 in stock. Pricing slabs, maybe? We still have commission slabs to go through. All right. What a classic song. Okay, here's Mr. Alex has already posted, so I'll post this one over here. 7/26. How many days do we have left of July? Let's see. Okay, July ends on the 31st, so we got a whole week left. Not a whole week, but 5 days. Okay. Tonight, we went out to eat. We actually had kind of a nice night. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up, close this up, close this up. Oh, let's see if I get a response over here, actually. All right. Working out a deal on a new slab that I might acquire for $5,000. Ooh, that's the Bowser music. Ooh. I like the what were we listening to? Koopa's Road. Oh yeah, that's Koopa's Road, isn't it? That's a nice, oh, that sounds nice. That's a nice rework of it. All right, got me all jazzed over here. Okay. Let's get past these ads real fast. I'm turning the iPad on. Oh my God. God, I hate ads, dude. All right. Good. Oh my God, another ad. There we go. All right, who was here first, by the way? Troy Malice, first one to comment. Thanks. So, PRB2 is here. Yes, we opened a lot of PRB2 in the daytime stream. Tons of it, actually. No manga has been pulled. We have a total of 3 cases, but the first case is more than halfway done, I think. And then we got 3 more cases on the way. So we have plenty of PRB2. We're not going to run out anytime soon. And tonight, the big news is the $200 store credit giveaway from Mr. LaFlame for his birthday. That's the big news. So a lot of you guys will be here for that. Be sure to pop in and open some cards if you want to add something to your collection, even if you're not the one to pull Mr. LaFlame's giveaway. We are. We have the binder breaks getting very close. There's 3 spots left in here for the binder break. Okay. We also have the pack split and the pack break. Ancient Origins and Jungle. Jungle is actually pretty close. So this one right here. We also have Pokemon Go ETB. I think there's only 1 person in here, but there's only a total of 3 spots left. So it's actually really close. Ooh, I do that all the time. We also have this QAnon Eevee over here. Now the Q is for Quest. He's up to 9 out of 14, 5 spots left. So those are all breaks that are getting pretty close. All right, so we like this. I'll set this here, and I'll set these behind me. How many spots left in the jungle? I think it's like 5 or 4. Let me count it, actually. Where is it? All right, let me grab the whole box. Hold on. I don't even see the bag. Bag must be over here. No. Where's the bag? The bag for the... Oh, we changed the... We've changed the... Okay, hold on. It's probably just being called something different. Ah, there it is. It's called the P split now. Pack split. I was looking for the bag that says vintage on it. Oops. So here we go. Total of 6 people in here. So there are 5 spots left. There is 5 spots left on the Jungle Pack break. Is Mr. LaFlame here right now? Happy birthday, LaFlame. How many spots left in Jungle? Happy freaking birthday. My heart burns eternally for LaFlame. Autocorrect is law. Okay, I'll turn this down a little bit now. Actually, I'm going to reset this whole soundtrack. Here we are. This is Disco Mario 64. It's not bad. I really like the soundtrack, the original soundtrack, but it is kind of played out. So having this, you know, variety version of it is nice. Okay, Panda says he's here. We got 37 viewers. What's up, guys? Sorry for starting so late, by the way. Karis was keeping me up real late. She's like, She wanted to inspect my Diglett collection. So there we go. That's very nice. Whew. Speaking of which, man, I'm like cooling down over here. Binder break. Oh, here's an interesting one. The Metazoo Kickstarter break with Matthew Hill. Ooh. Take a look at that. She gave me the look again. She gave me the look. Sorry I wasn't there to respond to you last night. I just walked away to let the dogs outside. Would you like to get those boxes opened? Shall we open them now? We can open them right now if you wanted. Beginning of the stream. That's a good time. You guys got some time to send in orders. Did Diglett VMAX. I used the VMAX on the Diglett. Here's Justin. Japanese pack break for Justin French. All right, so not the Japanese, the Jungle pack break. Here you go, Mr. Justin. Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. Ooh. All right. Very nice. So there are 4 spots left on Jungle. Good. Mr. It's pack split go. Amit. What pack split? Mr. Cody, would you like to... It's cool with you, Mark. Can I give the Cyber Judge box to Janice? I'll keep the other box there. All right, so you would like to leave this one sealed, or you'd like to open this one? Set this here. I'll set this one here. Okay. He says, no, open up. As in, yes, open it up, right? Okay, this shall say Janice. Good. Okay. All right, here goes. Ta-da! I'm pretty sure he means open it up. And now we're opening it. Okay. Aha! So once again, this is a part of a huge donation from Mr. Mark Valerian. And before Mr. LaFlame came in and did his gigantic giveaway, Mr. Mark actually came in and did another big giveaway too. So we have another booster box to hand out from Mr. Mark. I don't know why everyone's being so generous all of a sudden. It's kind of crazy. Here we are. A lot of generosity all of a sudden. Okay. Snipping this. Well, Flame just handed out $200 of cold cash. Like, holy, dude. That's pretty wild. He's out here pokey tithing, man. All right. Very cool, very cool. I'm in negotiations with my pops. We are. Dear Fasha. All right. All right. Thanks for doing that, mister. Just seemed right to give her one of the boxes. Yeah. It's almost like you won too much. I know that feeling. It's like, dang, dude. Cold. Here's Salimans. No, that's nice, man. That's really nice. I'll mention it to her that you gave it to her. There's the deer. Here's Knucklestack. Have you heard the good word of Pokemon? Ah, yes, the good word of Pokemon. Pokemon collecting to the moon. Here's this guy. Oh, Mian Shao. It is I, Mian Shao. Lovely. Okay. What? What is this? He's pulling the alt art. Wow, Roaring Moon. Wow. Literally for free. That's pretty lucky, Dane. That is pretty good. Literally for free. Didn't even have to do anything. There you are. Just casually picking up the good one. There. I don't think this warrants a top loader because it's not that expensive of a card when it's raw. But it is really nice, so we'll just put it like that. What? Dang, dude. That's crazy. That's a gift from Mr. Mark. Here's us. Here's this. Oops. Here's the crust. So I kind of want to see what's in the other box, Genesis box. You think we should open it? Here's, oops. Here's the goldfish. Isn't that the chase card? Yeah, pretty much. One of them, at least. It's definitely a top card. How do you suggest we sell singles? On Facebook? I'm not very good at selling singles. That's why I'm doing that binder break, because I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I am not good for making that decision. There we go. All right. The biggest problem with singles is it takes time, you know? It takes time. Very time consuming. There you are. All right. Oh, Magneton. Latios. That cricket grasshopper. This guy. Cold. Okay. And Loudred, or Explode. Rawr. All right, cool. Dang it, he got the Galissapod. The Galissapod, that's the top pull. All right, Mr. Cody, you must be feeling pretty blessed. There we go. Must be the good karma because you gave the other box away. Let's see. What do you guys think? You think karma's real? It's nice to think karma's real. Some kind of galactic justice system or something like that. That was Cody Hodges' bag. Now, do I have more drink? Yes. Pretty dang good box, I'd say. Oh, I drink too much. So, hit refresh. Damn, you're really late. Hey, what's up, Six? Here's Francisco Cruz. He says, One Top's first movie. You got it, man. Happy Friday, everybody. Member for 26 months. That's over 2 years, guys. Wow. You really hung around for a long time. We are. Okay. Oh. We are. Look at that. All right. There it goes. All right. What do we got here? Ooh. Round 1 equals defeat. Look at that. Blastoise, Mewtwo, Charizard, and Venusaur on that card. That's a nice card. Wow. I've been sleeping at this time normally. Haven't been in streams for a bit. Here is a Bulbasaur. It's Bulbasaur. Blib, 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 blib. Happy weekend, you guys. Did you guys have a good weekend? What'd you guys do? Weirdy Zard. Okay. Then S. All right. So that's for our friend, Mr. Francisco. Where do we put this? Maybe right here? You got a box that never really gets touched. Let's see, over here, right? Yeah, not a lot of people using the Francisco box. There it is. All right, looks like you've already got these two top loaders right here, so we'll just put this between them. Good. Good, Anakin. There we are. Haha. Going kayaking today. There we go. Kayaking. There it is. Kayaking. Let's get somebody on this La Flame giveaway. It's a $200 giveaway. Cody Hodges, first guy in. Wow, Cody. I don't know. You must have some magic beans or something. First one in, Cody Hodges on the $200 break. Okay, and now we have to click on this. Whew. Wait, I did set that up right, correct? It does say La Flame, right? Let me make sure. Closing this. Yeah, I did that right. All right, well, very, very good. Here's an order from Mr. Ahmad Arabi, and he says 1 box of the PRB02. Maybe box now. Thanks, I have bags, maybe box. Oh, yes. I do see a bag next to me, so I think you do have bags. Here goes PRB2. Oh. All right. Very good. Tossing this over here. Oh. Let's go ahead and snip this. Snip. Snip. Okay. Snip. Snip. All right, lots of snipping. Ready? Oh yeah, whole box of PRB2, guys. We got lots of it. Go nuts. There's your SR. Pack number 1. Pack number 2. My yearly reminder that I'm a LA peasant. What? Here's, that's not a full art. Okay. That guy's got a crazy nose, or girl, whatever it is. Oh. Here's. Oh. Here's this guy. Lovely. And. Here's. Oh, Golden Dawn. Not bad. Okay, Golden Dawn pack. Look at that. That's cool, man. Nice. Very nice. Here's Trafalgar Law. Oh, that's a full art as well. Luffy, but he's like punching a bunch. Punching your buns a bunch. Squeak, squeak. Nice to see you. Oh, my God. Here's these. And finally... Oh, Shanks and others. Okay, cool. So there you go. That's one whole box of PRB2. If you guys ever don't want the hollows, we can separate the hollows out because it is a lot of bulk. But that's only if you don't want it. If you do want it, you don't have to say anything. We just put it in your bag. All right, so we're creating a new bag for you because this is so much product that it requires a fresh bag. Ready? Okay. As always, milady, how's your day been besides the obvious? You talking to me? Well, we did a daytime stream. It ran late. Karis was really bored. I took her out to eat. We had to choose between Longhorn Steakhouse and Chili's. Now, last time I went to Chili's, it was really bad. We actually ordered the chili. It sucked. Karis ordered like chicken tenders. They were so like just frozen chicken tenders. They didn't taste good. And I got a steak and it was just okay. Okay, so but you guys said it was good. You guys said Chili's is actually pretty good. I said, all right, let's give it another try. That's why I said I'd do that, by the way. I said I'd give it another try. So tonight we had a choice between Longhorn Steakhouse or Chili's, because either way I was getting a steak for dinner. I was going to eat more than so I'm on this calorie restriction diet. Well, I was just going to eat like normal. So I got a whole meal, and we went there and I got the steak with mashed potatoes and broccoli. Guess what? It really wasn't that bad. But here's the impressive part. Karis really liked her dish. So she got like fajitas or something. Or no, she got the quesadillas. So she got quesadillas, and they're very cheesy, and she liked it. But then later it made her sick. So I don't know. So where are we? Also, they had those stupid kiosks that sit on the table. That's how you pay. And the waiter stood there while I was choosing the tip. He did not leave our table until after I'd chosen the tip. How crazy is that? It was this young dude, and he said, I'm standing right here until you're done paying. He did not leave. And I tried to stall, actually. I tried to, move our plates around. I tried to fill our boxes, our to-go boxes up. So I tried to fiddle around with things until he would step away. No, he was staying until I was finished paying. How crazy is that? So that's that whole out-of-control tipping culture thing. And by the way, by default, the little kiosk starts you at 20%. 20! When I was a kid, when I was young, it was 12. 12 was normal. It's all the way up to 20 now. What happened? 1/5 of the entire meal? Not to mention, food's so expensive now. Back then, 12% of a $30 meal wasn't that much money anyways. But, now you're expected to pay 20% of a $70 meal. And it's like, dear God, dude. I'd have shoot him away. Mister's tipping rant, let's go. But here, let's see. 20% is 70. Are you ready to see what that is? That's $14. The meal is $70, and you have to pay $14 because a guy served you 2 waters. He didn't even serve them. A different waiter did. And then the chef or whoever came out of the kitchen and put like 3 plates of food down, a little appetizer, a little steak, and the quesadillas. And because he asked for what we wanted, I now owe him $14. I was like, you didn't do anything. You didn't refill our drinks. You didn't even serve the food. You had a computer that you picked our meals out from. I saw you use a computer. You just went do on a computer. That cannot be worth $14. He's basically, it's like an obsolete job. It's this close to not being a job. How's that a job? So I don't know. I don't know what a waiter really does that's worth, because, we ate so fast. He didn't do anything. He just floated around tables. I was like, and now I owe you $14 for this meal. I don't get it. No, they're like things you squish. They can be in the shape of anything, but mostly sweets. That's when I hit no tip. Then if the situation warrants it, I'll tip cash. 20% is standard for quality service. I'm not hating on people who get tipped for their jobs. I'm not hating on people who do that. I just think 20 is very high. I think it should be 15. Like, it used to be 12. Now it's all the way up to 20. And then I think it's very weird if the guy hovers over you while you're trying to pick your meal. So I don't agree with 20. 1/5 of the entire cost of the meal is now owed to the person who didn't put it on your table. He just pushed buttons on a computer, literally, to enter into the computer our order. And then someone else brought the meal out. He did virtually nothing for us. He didn't bring the drinks. He didn't bring the food. He just said, hi, I'll be your waiter tonight. What would you like to eat? And then he just pressed some buttons on a computer and bopped away. That was it. That was all he did. And I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not like that. I'm one of those guys who hates liars. I'm real strict. I don't like to talk that way. I always talk real straight. So he did virtually nothing. Almost nothing. If that computer was on my table and I could push those buttons, his job would be gone. If I could push the buttons myself. So, but that's worth 20% of the entire cost of the meal. So I don't know. It makes it really hard to enjoy going out to eat. All right, let me grab this. All right, here we are. And by the way, talking about tips, I actually never feel bad giving good tips to the DoorDash driver. We get DoorDash every now and then. If you're my DoorDash driver, you're getting tipped, baby. Because that is, I really appreciate what they do. It's awesome. DoorDash is like life-changing. It's amazing. So, and especially if it's bad weather, I always give a bigger tip on purpose. So bigger than the recommended amount. Bad weather, like snow or rain, you're getting a little extra. But this guy at the restaurant, standing there while I'm trying to pay, and there's the little tip thing pops up. It's so awkward. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't helping us. He wasn't cleaning the table. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't helping with the kiosk. He wasn't putting our food into the containers or anything. He wasn't doing anything. He just stood there, waited for me to finish paying. He's like, all right, you got to pay on this kiosk now. Dang, dude. He like stared straight at me. It wasn't like a thing where he like turned his back while you were paying. He just looking right at you. They did that to me at Longhorn Steakhouse too, and I hated it. I was like, what is going on? It's pressure. The waiter's trying to scare you into doing a big tip. That's what it is. I think that's what it is. I think it's like they're trying to intimidate. They're like, if I look at them while they're tipping, I'll get a bigger tip. All right, there we go. Did he at least tell a joke? He did no jokes. He wasn't like a flatterer. He wasn't funny or anything. It was very busy, so he was just there briefly and he left, and then we got our food. He asked us like one time, how is it? And we're like, yeah, it's fine. And then, okay, now give me 20% of that meal. It's like, bro, dude, I'm going to watch you while you plug in the tip. It's like, whoa, what the hell? So aggressive. Anyway, that spoils it for me. It doesn't feel like a gift anymore. It feels like some sort of stick-up. You know, like, put your hands up. Get your wallet out. Feel like one of those. I want watches. I want jewelry. And I want your wallet. Like, bro, I'm just trying to eat. I'm not trying to steal your tip from you or anything. He was going to get tipped, by the way. I wasn't not going to tip. But the aggressive standing there while you're paying, when he barely was at our table the entire time. He was barely there. Like I said, he floated all over the restaurant. He barely there. He would step by for like a half second. Food okay? Yep. Oh, gone. So, but when it comes times to pay, he's going to stare at me while I'm paying. What? What's going? It's all different when it's time to pay. He wants to stand right next to you, talk to you, get to know you. Hey, you got that 20% tip for me, right? Anyway, so pushy tippers, not good. Ooh. Bad tip behavior. If I can feel your gaze as I lift the pen, 0%. I would have been pissed. I had a manager at Pizza Hut take our tips. No wonder Pizza Hut's going under. Hey! I know you're not talking trash on the king of pizza, Pizza Hut. There you go. Listen, Six, just because your manager was bad doesn't mean the Pizza Hut company is bad. Pizza Hut's my ride and die. There you go. Restaurant workers' main income is tips. Hourly wage you can't live off of. I think I understand that. I think there has to be some sort of agreement about tips. If you stare at me while I'm trying to put the tip down, I feel like you're sort of telling me I have to give you a big tip. And I don't agree with that. You cannot do that. If you're trying to coerce me into giving a tip, when a tip is a gratuity, it's not a requirement. If you're trying to force me into a tip, it actually makes the tip feel less like a tip and more like a stick-up. Stick 'em up! And so, you know, I guess other people here are saying when the waiter or whoever acts that way about the tip, they just don't tip at all. So it could work against you if you have that sort of mannerisms as a server or waiter or person who primarily gets their money off of tips. It is tailored. Like I leave tips. I'm not in a position in life where I don't tip people. I tip people. I just find it inappropriate as well. It's like, you know, all right, I'm going to tip you. It's okay. There it is. Ooh, Kecleon. Oh, we never gave a price to the Kecleon. Oh, okay. I like this one. Look at this Legend Maker. I love the job, not the management. Pizza Hut treated me so poorly. Do like you do here in Switzerland and pay them a livable wage. All right, let's see. I'm going to toss this over here. And, well, you know what's interesting about that is I think some waiters and waitresses would actually make less money if they were not allowed to receive a tip. Think about it. Some people probably get tipped very well. Think about like sexy girls in a big sexy restaurant. They probably get tipped like crazy, right? And so they probably don't want to see it go away. It would literally be a price drop for them. It would be a pay decrease. But if you're kind of a stinky guy like this guy who was serving us tonight, and he was a bit stinky. If you're a bit of a stinky guy, it might not do well for you. You might be like, wait a second. All right, okay, so I don't see one for sale. Let's check sold. I had a pretty crummy job when I started. I earned minimum wage at Target when I got started with life. Minimum wage at Target. It was $7.25. $7.25 in Missouri, but I got an extra $1 because I was an overnight worker. So since I was or early morning really, since I was an early morning worker, I got paid a little bit better. And I was paying rent to an apartment and everything. I was paying rent. So it wasn't like super easy at any point. Okay, I cannot find this card at all. I think the next step then is to compare it to another card in the same set, okay? So we're going to look up CGC 10. Oops. And we're going to look up Legend Maker Reverse Hollow. You ready? Legend. What is he, by the way? Is he a rare? Legend Maker Reverse. I know Kecleon's not an incredibly valuable Pokemon, like a Pokemon that people beat each other up to acquire. He might even be kind of hard to sell, you know? So let's swap over to Buy It Nows. And all right, so here we go. The cheapest Buy It Now would be this Magnemite. $45. That's it. Laleep, 50. Shuppet, 50. Shuppet's decent. Here's Geodude. Oh, that's kind of cheap. Trapinch for 50. War Turtle, those are 9s. Trapinch for 60. Anorith. Vibrava, 55. Here's a Skitty for 65. I think 225 is way too high. That's my theory. Let's keep scrolling. All right, so here's some Tentacools for 80. There's the Lunatone for 75. And Huntail for 90. So even if we went up to Huntail, it would be just 90. Let me keep scrolling, see if there's anything else compared it. So like here's Pinsir for 112. Here's Golem for 110. Definitely feel like this is in a similar desirability class as Golem. I think we better not start it at 225 because it just will not sell. Here's Muck at 150. He's a classic Pokemon from Gen 1. Absol's at 215. He's actually desirable. I know Absol's desirable. So we got to lower Kecleon. He can't be too... He could technically be whatever you want him to be, but if he's just stuck on the table forever, you know. There are cards on my rotation that have been there for like the whole year. So you can price it for $1 million if you want. We got to get a price that people only want to pay. All right. A guy working harder can get paid less than a pretty woman. Yeah. That's called supply and demand. You should have been born a pretty woman. You ready? All right. That's called supply and demand. If I hire a hooker, who am I going to leave a big tip? Am I going to leave a tip for kind of like an out-of-shape hairy guy? Or am I going to leave a tip for a hot, cute, sexy girl? You tell me. All right. It's called supply and demand. It is. Girls get paid better than men in certain fields. I don't feel guilty about it. Don't guys get a lot of high-paying jobs that girls don't get? Guys generally get the engineering jobs, the airline pilot jobs. You know, a lot more men in politics, I think. I don't know if that's still true. We are. It's just I'm not gonna fight nature. You know, it's just nature. I'm not gonna fight with nature. It's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So we're gonna say 110 for Kecleon. 8.25 AP. The tip goes to the pimp. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. There it goes. Can we pay the staff? No business being open. That is an old and outdated model. All them tips go into those LA 10s. People would tip me more for being a girl, but being nice helps. When I worked at a fancy bar, table service was an automatic 18%. Yeah, so even that's 2% lower than 20. So how did they make it all the way up to 20? What happened? It's like it's like it's sort of tip inflation. They're like, now it's 20, now it's 21, now it's 22, now it's 23, now it's 24. Like, what? It used to be 12. Let's see. A waiter should not be standing by the table waiting for it. The only way that I see that to be is if it's a cash-based tip. No, it's not. I don't think he was worried about us dining and dashing, or anything like that. I mean, I don't know if we give off the feel of a dine and dash kind of couple. I don't think we do. No, he was waiting for me to do the tip, and then he left. And he left after I finished, pulled my card out. He's like, good. All right. My chicken at Dave Hot was half coated with the seasoning. All them tips going to those LA 10s. All right. So, thank you, Harley, for the fun card. A fun opening. And here's Kecleon, the Carddass opening. Carddass cards. Kecleon should be in the front here. We just priced them up. So, 110 for this lovely Kecleon. The hot bartender don't earn money with Pokemon. That's right. Wait, what? Okay, we're going to click on this. Edwin Delcid, Glory of Team Rocket. I'm not going to complain when girls get paid more than guys, because I also do not care when guys get paid more than girls. I really don't. So you gotta pick and choose, you know. Okay, Edwin, I think you want 2 of these. Haha. Ta-da! Mister doesn't look like a sprinter. Good call, Andy. Let's see. Either way, they shouldn't have been standing there like that. Well, it was curious because I had the same problem occur at the Longhorn Steakhouse. The waiter, she was showing me how to operate the payment machine, but then she stood there and waited for me to do the tip. And what was crazy with her is she could actually visibly see the screen. So she was watching the screen with her eyes while I paid. And I was like, wow, it's always been a discreet thing. The way it has always worked is you get a check, you pay it, they bring you back a receipt, and then they walk away, and then you leave the tip. You're not supposed to watch the person do the tip. That's nutso. All right. Grab that. And the fact that the machine starts it at 20 as well, that's like, dang, dude, that's a lot. That's the other argument, by the way, is I don't actually agree with 20%. I think 20% is high. You are 1/5 of your entire meal. You are. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edwin. Okay. So here we are. Let's see what the likes are at right now. We got our likes at 21. We've got 78 watchers and 21 likes. I would hand out another spot in here. There's just not enough likes for it. So I'm going to hold this hostage. Sorry, guys. I'm going to watch while you tip me, okay? You don't mind, right? Here it is. Here's Mothman. Here's Nido King. Oh, this Nido King became available again. So that's cool. He's a good one. I like him. He actually went up in price. Here is a nice gym break for the Tyranitar. Lovely. We just double taxed the amount for the meal to tip. Here it is. Okay, Bulbasaur. What are you saying, Jose Vargas? Double the tax amount for the meal to tip. He got that powerlifter build, Big Man Blastoise. That's why I just go to the fast food. You know, it's sad too. It's really the fast food workers who ought to be tipped because those guys work so hard. When you work in a fancier restaurant, a lot of the times I feel like you dress nice, you talk nice, but you're in a nice air-conditioned room. You get a little more space to kind of stretch your legs. The fast food workers work in this tiny little aisle, you know, and it's crammed. It can be dirty and greasy and smelly and noisy. And the people who order fast food are sometimes crazy. They're drunk. They're angry. You know, it's a tougher job in some ways, and yet you get paid less. You get paid less to do the less desirable food job. So it's kind of tough, isn't it? If the tax was $10, double it to $20 for the tip you leave. Oh, that would suggest, so out here in Lake of the Ozarks, I think the average sales tax is 8%. So if the tax is 8%, then you're only leaving an 8% tip. And, oh, I see what you're saying. So like 16%, is that what you're arguing? Oh, I see. So double the tax, that should be the tip. That's an interesting thought. Kitchen has no AC. I tipped 20% for burritos yesterday, and I was taken out, and she added tacos that I didn't order. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. All right, guys, it is Friday night. We have no orders in the queue. Hit refresh on this. It's 3:23. We just got started. We actually did just get started. All right. I'm just looking over these websites real fast. Hit refresh. My wife used to work for IHOP, and that's what she uses for the tip algorithm. Oh, that's cool, man. It's pretty easy. I want to see these messages real fast. Okay, he hasn't responded. 10% should be the base. 10% is kind of low in my opinion. 10%. I mean, maybe if the meal was like $200, 10%. That's another interesting thing. When the meal is really expensive, the tip goes up. And so, you know, you're punished for eating at a pricier restaurant. So like if you can get a steak at Golden Corral for $40, but a steak is $75 at Chili's, well, you're punished for eating at Chili's. It's like Chili's says, haha, here you go. Ooh. So here's a nice new card, Charmeleon. Ooh. Tell your wife I wanted chocolate chips on my pancakes. Okay. There's Charmeleon. Good. When I used to go to restaurants, I would tip before I was finished eating in cash, and I would get better service and some free stuff and didn't have to worry about the server was actually going to get it. Ooh, I don't know about that. Tipping beforehand, I feel like that could be a dangerous... The only way that that works is if the tip is very large each time. It is. Okay, so let's see. This is the Classic Collection. Classic Charmeleon. I'd say that's a dangerous behavior, because they could even decide that they're not that motivated by... Let's say the tip is like $12. And they could be like, well, I'm only making $12 on this table. I'm out of here. Oh, I typed in CGC 10. We want tag 10. Okay. It is tag 10. Classic Charmeleon, $45. Cool. If they get tipped early, they could decide they're done tending your table. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like they already know what they're getting, and there's no incentive to pay attention to you. When the tip is forced, large parties of 8 or more, we get poor service every time. I see. You know, so like when the server's sure that you guys are going to have to be forced to pay your tip. That's very interesting. I'm liking this conversation. This is very interesting. We are. Okay, look at that. Jewishly fair. What does Jewishly fair mean? All right, let's take a quick look at the likes if they've changed at all. 29 likes. Whew. I'm in California. The waiter wanted to focus on the smaller tables where tips would still be available. A sushi spot in New York City, decent prices, average tips, great food and service, tiny place. After about a year of going every week or two, I was served tea in a porcelain mug instead of brown earthenware. I get that, but in my experience is at least back then I always got good service doing that. Don't know about how that would work nowadays though. Here, try this, not on menu yet. Just moved to South Korea, no tips allowed. Yeah, that's very interesting, no tips allowed. Here is an Andrew Martin order. 1 binder break spot. You got it, Mr. Andrew. Okay, Andrew Martin. All right. Good. Very nice. Okay, so there's 2 spots left in the binder break, and it's over. 2 spots left in the binder break. Very nice. Should be 10%, and the guy got all the value, no company stuff. Do you tip for takeout orders? Well, I actually tip very generously when it's DoorDash orders, because I actually really, really appreciate DoorDash drivers. I feel like their job is like an actual kind of risky, you know, you got to drive. I feel like their job includes their car sort of taking on depreciation. They have to deal with possibly tickets, car crashes, drunk drivers. So DoorDash wasn't even a thing just a couple years ago, like before COVID. And then COVID happened and DoorDash exploded. And it's become one of my favorite services, DoorDash. I really like it. I actually will use DoorDash even to just get food from the grocery store that I don't want to go get. Sometimes the grocery store's got a nice baked chicken, right? I don't want to eat McDonald's. But you can just tell DoorDash, hey, go get me that baked chicken from the grocery store. Guess what? For a guy like me who's got a lot of work to do, that's worth it. The tip and the service fee for a guy like me, that's perfect because I'll stay home and I'll keep working. And keeps me off the road too. I like that. So especially on days where the weather is poor, I will leave an extra tip, a larger than normal tip for the driver. And I never leave them a small tip because it's just wrong. They got, again, one of my complaints about leaving tips for servers in the current restaurant system is they don't do much. They really don't. They don't do that much for me. But the DoorDash driver does like a tough job. It's a tough job. Being a driver is a real job with real risks. And, ooh, look at this, Gyarados. Gyarados, 2 of Hearts, the heart of the cards. We have Magikarp for $150, and we have Gyarados for $400. Let's get that fossil break filled, boys and gals. Does he mean the jungle break? Let's see if he means the jungle break. Here we are. All right. So, by the way, take a look at this Gyarados Magikarp. This is a pair. It's sequential, and it's Pokemon Poker Deck Red. $400 for both slabs. Low pop slabs. Very beautiful Gyarados, by the way. So that's a nice card ready for slab away. All right, Blake Santoro's here. How's he going? How's it doing, Blake? So he wants 2 live customs and 8 shuffles. You got it, Mr. Blake. It's nice to see you. All right, here goes. Mr. Blake. We got a 1, 2, 3, and 8 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. We got, oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that worked out really well. You sniped the 5 live shuffles out, or 5 live customs out of the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that is a big snipe. How about that, Blake? You didn't think that was going to happen tonight, did you? All right, so let's just see what comes out of this box. You got 2 live customs coming out and then 5 more. 1, 2. So those were the 2 that you ordered. They actually would have been cold. Now for 5 more. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Lucky day, Mr. Blake. Wow. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. 120 to the oldest slab break. That's so funny. So what is that valued at? 120. You sent in $80 and you're getting $120 of break value. That's interesting. That actually goes to this then. So that's funny because you pulled this once before and you sort of maybe expressed a dislike of the pull. And then you got very lucky here, and that's the exact card you pulled. And it's not a common pull in the live custom box. It rotates, so it takes a long time for that to come out. So it's just very funny luck. We are? All right. So you would be going into this Eevee now. Mr. Blake. Blake Santoro. Well, that makes the Eevee very close. The trickle down works more like a trickle up. What are we talking about? Okay. We talking about taxation? It's trickle up. Trickle down economics. Give the rich a tax break, and they'll give that money back to you. Okay. It is. All right. So here's our QAnon break. I love calling it the QAnon break. I don't know why. It's just so funny. Because it's a little Eevee. But Q is for quest sticker. Here we are. Good. Okay. Yay, the Eevee's getting closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Eevee is at 12 out of 14, everybody. 12 out of 14. 2 spots remain, and the Eevee is completed. Okay, there we have it. And so this has to be reloaded back into the live customs now. 120 is a 6-spot break. 6-spot pack. I'm so mad that Shake Shack doesn't hand bread their nuggets anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only need 5. Wait, you don't need to see these either because it'll give it away. So let's put those back in. All right. Very good. So good luck in there. You have 3 cards in there, Mr. Blake. You have a fair shot at it, actually. 3 goes into 14, what, like 5 times almost? So you have about 1 in 5 odds for you. If you do pull it, it's a great card. Oh, this is too many, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So the rest of this goes back in to be used at another time. Put this back over here. Now watch, Blake, this is the funny part. This goes to the back of the box. It's the only pull of its kind in the box. So there's all these other hits in the live customs, and you happen to pull that one. What are the odds? All right. Trying to do the Endless Tower. Ooh, look at that Mega Blastoise, part of the new consignment slabs. Let me take a quick look at the likes here. We're trying to get the likes to be about half of the viewers. So the likes are at 29. We need the likes to be at about 40 before we continue to hand out spots in the Flames giveaway. All right. We don't have to do this giveaway. I can just hold it because I can hold it. I come back here every single day. It doesn't matter to me. I can hold it and 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 hold it. Here's Carddass Eevee. Very nice. But I'm going to hold it hostage today. We're going to get those likes up to about half the stream. We are. Here's Rip Brandon's Guts. It's not too bad. It just takes practice. Well, how many guts? 34 viewers. How many likes? Oh, it says on my screen that we have 80 viewers. I had 5 Guys burgers today. Literally liquid oil in solid form. 5 Guys. Oops. Oh, I need a new drink. My drink's cold. My drink's not cold. It's empty. Nani? Oh, I'm slowly dying in Expedition. The friggin' lines I stood in for those burgers. I like 5 Guys, but the grease kills me. 5 Guys sucks, says Corn Rules. What are we talking about? All right, let's get back to it. We have a Blake Santoro order, and he says 2 in the Eevee break and 4 shuffles. Oh, very interesting. So Blake's going to double down in the Eevee break. All right, you got it, Mr. Blake. It's kind of scary. That leaves you with 5 spots. Your odds are now about 1 in 3. Just remember, Blake, that's worse than a coin toss. So you got to get lucky still. Blake S. And Blake S. All right, we'll see how that goes. All right. So that's it. The Eevee is completed. How about that? Eevee's done, everybody. Now, he says he'd also like 4 more shuffles. Remember me of the sofa theme. It is. We got 1, 2, 3. Now, he said 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good luck. Let's see if we get more luck in here. All right, that's going to be a cold round this time in the Pokey Shuffles. Tossing that. Now, it is time for the Carddass Eevee break, everybody. Are you ready? This Carddass Eevee break does not hand out a star spot. It only receives a star spot. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and a 14. Ta-da! There goes. Okay. This one's been up here for a while. He definitely took a while. 1 in 14 for a card that maybe people don't really understand. Really, really rare. Pop 5. Carddass Eevee. Let's count this up. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Whew. All right. Well, we went walking on the main street after dinner. We went walking on the Bagnall Strip. That's what it's called. And man, it was a party out there. There were so many young people. All the bars were completely filled. The bars were so full that there was a line to get into the bars. It was so crazy. And there was guys, there were like bouncers, like stopping people for going in. I'm like, this is Lake of the Ozarks. What's going on? How can there be... And then you look into the bars, and they got like disco balls and laser beams, and people like dancing next to live music, and it was really crazy. I was like, what the hell? Never seen that before. It is, but it's these hot July nights, man. They're popular. All right, give me a number. Six. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That splits it in half. Now we're going to show off the names. We're also going to count them, make sure we actually have 14. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there it is. That's 14. All right, let's get it. Brandon has a solid rate of predictions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Kind of slide this around. There it goes. You liking this music? You hearing the saxophone? All right, nice and random here. A woodwind instrument placed by a buzzing reed. What? What's sax? Okay. All right. Give me a number. Brandon, you guessed the last one. Let's get another person guess the next number. Good RNG says 5. His name's Good RNG. That's a great name for picking out the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, are you ready? You just decide everyone's fate. You just decided if Blake walks away with that EV or if it gets sniped by somebody else. Oh, and let's put this in the middle now. Good luck, everybody. Starting with Andrew A. Martin. Cold. Okay, your odds are up now, Blake. Blake. Cold. Now your odds are about the same as they were before. Oscar Resendez. Now your odds are up. Sean Gallagher. Oh, your odds are going up. That's good. Andrew Martin. Oh, looking good. Mr. Blake. Could that be it? Could it be the chase card? Whew, that was a dangerous game, Mr. Blake. All right, we'll set that there. Now, it's not over. These two piles have to line up in order for it to be a win, okay, Blake? So this has to be 14, and that has to be 14. If it's off by 1, we redo the whole thing. Fair warning, there's Wriggle Bitter Gill. It's important to remember that with all of our breaks, that's how it works. If I screw up the count, it doesn't count as a legitimate run. I am known to make that mistake, so that's why I like to remind you. That's Mr. Brandon Wong from Andy Man. Sorry, Mr. Brandon. Not this time. Oops. Come on now. There we are. So we got Mr. Brett. Mr. Brett was in here. Here's NHCC was in here. Mr. Blake was in here again. And Mr. Steven was in here as well. He had a spot from the Pokey Shuffle. So there it is. The round is over. And Mr. Blake, it looks like your gamble paid off. Whew, that was dangerous. You know what's interesting about that, Mr. Blake? Take a careful look at that card. That is one of the cards that you purchased outright. See? Because it says Blake S on it. So I know this is one of the ones where you paid to get 2 more spots in the EV Shuffle. Looks like you did well. All right. That was some good luck, man. Grab this. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Minister, you neglect us in favor of daytime streams now. Oh, what's this? What is this? This is someone's pull made it into the book pile. Who opened up Quintessential? I'm sorry, Curious Universe. Who opened Curious Universe? Somebody did, yes, during the daytime stream. That's theirs. All right. I don't think that was an expensive one, but it's more like a holo, but I missed it. There we are. Who was it that ordered that? I remember somebody ordered 2 Curious Universe. Are they watching right now? Here's this. I don't do anime. Good games. Congratulations, man. And here is this as well. Lovely. All right. So we don't need this anymore. And this shall go back in the bag. And Russia anime, do you? I don't do anime. Anime's not really my thing. Is that how I sound if I say I don't like anime? I probably sound just like, what a pretentious jerk. There we go. Toss it over there. And we're going to write Blake on the back. Mr. Blake. Congratulations. Okay, wow. Wow, that felt good, man. So that's done. There's 2 spots left in this binder break, by the way. 2 spots left over here. Actually? Yeah. Is that what I do? Do I ever do that? I probably do that all the time. I'm probably so lame, dude. Don't even let me know. I don't want to know if I'm lame. I'm probably so lame. So, definitely this guy right here. It's time for him to say good night. He's a 1 in 7. We'll go ahead and give him a star. That's it. So he is the next one to go. Once he's gone, he's gone. You neglect us in favor of the daytime streams. Are you just saying that because I showed up so late? There it is. All right. I can't help it. My wife was making sweet love to me. What could I do? Let's say... let's say we will go to this one. Click. Okay, that's refreshed. There's no orders in the queue. No one wants to see what's in the Pogo box. There's 3 spots left in the Pokemon Go box. Here's Marceline. Oh. Here's the Wafu Shuffle. Oh. Here's the Pikachu Electric Sealdos. Oh. And here is the Hypnotoad. Polytoad. You think Polytoad's still 150? Let's take a quick look into that. It says 525 on it, right? Let's get a price on it for 825. CGC 10 Polytoad. Oops. So the cheapest Polytoad significantly higher. It's 250 now. That's not a surprise. I mean, it's a Skyridge reverse hollow. So those are going straight up to the moon. Those are getting really expensive. That's why I wanted to check, by the way, because I had a feeling it should be more expensive over time. All right, let's dust it down a little bit. Get that nice and clean for you. Oh, nice. Has something on it, and then we kind of dusted it off. That's real nice. Okay, good. How's the back of this look? Ooh, doesn't that look nice? I love cleaning the card with the brush. It's so nice. Okay, Polytoad. Yeah, he really deserves a special sleeve. You know this is a special card, right? This is a Skyridge 10. Let me go get a special sleeve. I'll be right back. Actually, I'm gonna go get another drink too. I'm so thirsty, dude. So I'll be right back. Let me get another drink. All right, here I am. Oh, I didn't get the sleeves. Hold on, let me get the sleeves. All right, here we are. Whew. 33 likes currently, peeps. There we are. All right. There we go. Grabbing this. We'll plug it in. Okay. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Very nice. All right. Here I am. You rock me like a hurricane. Yeah. Mr. Crowley. I've heard so much Ozzy Osbourne music because of his recent passing. Rip. Sounded great, too, in his last performance. He sounded great. I mean, you could tell he was old and shaky, but he sounded great, man. Perfect. All right, look at that. I've also heard that he did not have euthanasia and that he really did pass from natural causes. Pretty amazing. So he really did a performance just before passing. It's just amazing. So lucky. So lucky to have that. Wow. Now look at that. Whew. Okay, so what did I say? I said that changed off. Did that Lugia break pop off? Lugia break. Oh, not yet. It's still going. So this guy shall be, excuse me, $250 now. Really? $250? What did I pay for this guy? It's crazy. You know, when a card performs this well, it makes you wonder, should you even be selling it? Like, why sell a card that's just going up? There it is. But I gotta have something for you guys, you know? Hulk Hogan was next to Arnold. Hulk Hogan passed. That's pretty crazy too, isn't it? Didn't another guy just pass too? Another artist? Like in the last couple hours? I think I saw something in the news. Another guy just passed. Okay, now where's my drink? Where's my drinky drink? Did that Lugia break pop off? So let's show off the Lugia real fast. Here it is. It was almost his turn to rotate. That is the rare candy break with Lugia, up to 5. Moving a little slower this time. The last couple of times we had him, he moved real fast, but maybe it's because I keep hosting the same break, but I just really like them. I bought another, like, 2 of them, too. Excuse me. Definitely have a strong feeling like the Lugia is undervalued. I'm going to set this over here. Let's check the likes. I'm surprised. You know, think of it like this, guys. This is LaFlame's birthday stream where we're doing LaFlame's birthday giveaway. And it kind of feels like you guys can't be bothered to do the likes. Here's what I wish. I wish you could find out who are the 33 people who like the stream and just give it to them. Actually, who did like the stream? Can you name yourself? If you like the stream and you know you like the stream, just tell me what your name is. 6. All right, 6, you're going in. Easy. Well, you know, it's hard to say for sure, but I bet 6 really did. Before I go off doing this strategy, here's the problem. Anyone can just say that they like the stream, but clearly only 33 people did. Let's see. Was it really just 33 people? Dude, this guy's so generous. He gave $200 away, and you guys can't be bothered to hit the like for this stream. He's giving $200 away, and he's like too generous. That's like too generous. And, you know, if I was him, I'd be like, you guys better smash that like button or something. Here we are. All right. So, let me think. So, since it was so hard to rally you guys to get into a good mood for this one, you know, it's kind of like clapping, you know, it's like a cheer. How should we do this? Was there some way to look up? Let me see if there's a way to look up who liked the stream and what order it was liked in. I'd like to just give it away to those guys who liked it. Is there a way to know who liked a live stream? I think that's kind of poor. There's no way to exactly see who did it. I know LaFlame, he's very modest and very, you know, he's socially smart, so he wouldn't say to do anything mean, so I'm kind of being the gopher for him. Let's see. Screenshot your like and send it in the Discord message. Oh, yeah, that's true. You could have done that. But, you know, then again, somebody who doesn't feel like liking the stream can do that. They can send a picture and then just unlike it. Yeah, I would really prefer this just goes to that group of people who like the stream, but there's no way to know who they were. I believe 6 when she says it, because I don't think 6 would lie about that. Let's, We're gonna make it a different giveaway. It was a giveaway that was open to the public, but it's no longer going to be open to the public. This giveaway is going to be for subscribers from within the last year, because he was from last year. It was open to the public, but you guys couldn't be bothered to hit the like button, so it's just going to be for the people who are subscribed. Here it is. All right. I thought that was really poor. All right. Because if the rule was you have to hit the like button to be in the giveaway, you guys probably would hit the like button at that point, but that's poor. So, okay, so here it is. Go ahead and type in, oh wait, I'm going to go ahead and hit reset entries real fast. All right, there you go. So go ahead and type in LA for LaFlame. Let's fill this out right here, right now, and give that $200 out. Big birthday giveaway from LaFlame. He's very generous. It is. All right. So this way we know it's going just to the small group that's been around for a while. And I know you guys almost certainly would hit that like button. Most of you guys. maybe 90%. It is. Because you guys have been here for a while. Here's Ryan. It's not even about me. Like, I wasn't asking for likes yesterday. I wasn't asking for likes in the daytime stream. I generally have not been asking for likes. But it's just the fact that Mr. LaFlame, he's giving out this huge thing. And I feel like people do want the free thing, but they can't be asked to smash that like button for it. And I was like, oh, man, it's his birthday, man. Here we go. So I think that's poor. Can't be that lazy and then be rewarded with $200. Okay, puzzles are hard. All right. You know why that was kind of bothering me, right? Because I can actually see the number of people who typed in LaFlame, and I can see that the number of people that wanted to receive the $200 was higher than the number of people who were willing to hit the like button. So now we are running this differently. So we are running this for subscribers only. All right, here we are. Here's Anthony Narin. All right. And here's Wiglet. Yeah, if the number of people trying to receive the $200 is higher than the number of people who hit the like button, there's something going wrong. It really should just be going toward people who are friends, you know what I mean? Especially with it being such a special giveaway. We are. Here's Recon Lord. Thank you, Mr. Recon Lord. Here's, and if you're a big fan of this stream and you just got here and you've been here less than a year, have no fear. There will be many more giveaways just like this one, okay? I promise. So in the future, if we lock this giveaway chat up like we just did now, if you just stick around, you'll be the one to benefit from it next, I promise, okay? So just stick around for a while. A year goes by pretty fast. You'd be surprised. That's Michael Bethel. Okay. So there's 2 spots left, number 19 and 20. We got number 19 is 6. I put you in here for free 6. So let's say no duplicate on this list. Okay, so Aovic. Okay, so it's Aovic and Adrian. Perfect. All right, now let's find out. We can go ahead and open up the chat to everybody now. Give me a minute here. All right, we're going to open that to everybody. All right, here goes. Aovic and Adrian. All right, landing on 15. Hey, that's Team Rocket Grunt. All right, Team Rocket Grunt. You are the unbelievably lucky guy to just suddenly receive a $200 gift card from our friend, Mr. LaFlame. It's LaFlame's birthday, by the way. He is one of our most generous friends and customers. So we gotta say happy birthday to this guy. Happy birthday, Mr. LaFlame. Really appreciate you, man. Look at that. Very special. That is super cool. We have a very cool group. All right. Set this over here. All right. Ta-da! Look at that. So now that the giveaway's gone, we've immediately lost 4 people. So I think I'm glad I did it that way. I think there were probably some people just hanging around for that free stuff. And normally that would not bother me, but this was a very special giveaway. I don't want it to just be like a gaggle of people who are just there to sit there and, oh, I hope I get the free one. And no, I'm not going to hit the like button either. That just feels really not so good. So there we go. 200. Wow. So let's write your name down on that, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt, and you can think about what you'd like to do with it. You could actually buy a nice slab with that. You can get, how many, 5 spots in a break. You could do 10 live customs with money like that. You could open up a whole box of ETB black or white. There you go. So that is pretty good. Solid intuition, mister. Well, you know, it was when the number on the screen on my computer said that there were actually more people trying to win the giveaway than there were actually people who had hit the like button. I was like, that can't be right. Not for Mr. LaFlame's birthday. Come on, bro. For LaFlame's birthday, bro. Where's that positive energy? Okay, so we have Mr. Blake Santoro with 10 shuffles and 25 to slab away. Mr. Blake, are you ready? But we will have many public giveaways. In fact, we have more public, not subscribers only, but public giveaways very soon. If you've been paying attention to the daytime stream, there's some huge giveaways coming very soon, like just right after today. So come back for Sunday, come back for Monday. You're going to see really big giveaways then too. And I'm not trying to, what would be the word? Is there a Pokemon that's a rooster? I think, is there a rooster Pokemon? Hold on. Look. There probably is. Is there a rooster Pokemon? Yes, there's a couple Pokemon there. Blaziken. Blaziken's not a rooster. Combuskin? No. Torchic? I'm not trying to Torchic block you guys. Here we are. So we'll get some really big giveaways in the next day and the day after that. Okay, so Blake, 350 minus 25 is 325. Tapu Koko? Nah, he's not a rooster. Tapu Koko? You think Tapu Koko's a rooster? This community truly is great, not based off of what they give, but who they love, what you created here, mister. Yeah, I mean, LaFlame's just very generous. I'm glad he hangs out. We're very lucky to have him here. Come on, don't be like that. Oh, his Trump's got the file, huh? He's hiding it. He mentioned in an interview that he had never been to the Epstein Islands, and that Bill Clinton had been to the islands like 28 times or something like that. And all I could think is like, okay, so you were able to prove that. You know that from some sort of documentation, right? Why don't you reveal the documentation then? But he's not going to do it. Well, I don't know what this song is, but I love it. I love how crazy it is. All right, Blake. So the other part of your order is the 10 hollow shuffles. Let's get it, man. Pokey Shuffle time. Don't let me down, Pokey Shuffles. Isn't there photographical proof that he had been there, though? I guess there's photographs of him with Epstein. That does not necessarily prove where he was, though. There's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 5 more. So technically, it looks like it could mean that, but it technically doesn't prove it. 2. Like if you had to take it to court over just a photo. Neat Arena 10. Okay, you got a 10. Oh, I think that's a good one, actually. I think you did good here. Okay, Neat Arena 10. Bill Gates' wife just leaving because of Epstein Island stuff. Hillary Clinton just left Bill Gates. Is that what you just said? That's not true. She didn't leave Bill when he got caught with the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Here we are. Yeah, is this it? Not bad. So this is a special Neat Arena. This is from the vending series. It's Japanese vending. Look at that. I don't think there's a Nido Queen involved here. Is there a Nido Queen? I think this is just a lone card of Neat Arena. Very strange, isn't it? It is. Even Stephen Hawking was in the Epstein thing. Yeah, it's strange, right? It's all very strange. It wouldn't have to be strange if they just released everything, just release all of it. And then the society will trust you again. Problem solved. Okay, cool. Now we have an order for our friend. Oops, we gotta jump back over here. Wow, this disco remake of the Nintendo 64 soundtrack makes even the Halloween Haunted House song, the clown song, sound really nice. They reworked it, sounds nice. Okay, so we have Mr. Miguel. Let's slowly but surely bring my Mew home, eventually 20, to my slab away. All right, let's get this on your slab away. Let's take a quick look at it. Okay. So you got till October? You got till October. Here's 180. There you go. Now, October is 2 months away. You got 2 full months. So I think you're going to make it, okay? I think you're going to make it. Here's Justin, 6 Pokey Shuffles. You ready? All right. Most rich dudes were on that island. Mister, read the messages above. I don't know why I was being so salty about liking earlier in the stream. Here we are. Very nice. Here we are. So I think what you're saying is you had liked the stream. Is that what you're saying? Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Yeah, there was the unfortunate thing about what I did there was there were people who liked the stream who weren't able to participate, but we decided to hand it out just based off of sort of like seniority, I guess, because I think that that's a very safe method to make sure that the giveaways handed out nicely. We are. But, you know, stick around, Brandon, because you're probably pretty close to reaching 1 year, don't you think? How long have you been here? You're almost 1 year. So the next time, you know, when you hit 1 year, if you're still around, and I think you will be, you'll actually benefit from that. Okay, so you'll be the benefactor of that. And I trust me, there'll be more big giveaways. There really will be. By the way, when we hit 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers, $5,000 giveaway. So be there for that, guys. And let's get to 100,000. I'll keep working so we get to it. Here's Knockdell and Rocket Wheezing. This is for Justin French. Well, Mr. Justin, the Knockdell, huh? Let's see. And Rocket Wheezing. Oh, that's cool, actually. I like this one. So this seems lame, right? But look, it's actually this card. Doesn't that look good? That's nice. Very nice. Okay. You did pretty good on that. Yeah. That was a good round. There we go. Probably got an unlike after it went by seniority. Just don't unsubscribe to Mr. Channel Branding because I'm pretty sure it restarts if you do that. Oh, I didn't think of that. So what they're saying is if you hit, if you unsubscribe then resubscribe like for fun, it may reset the duration of how long you've been here. That's not a good thing. Let's see. All right. Very nice. So here we are. We got two lovely cards. Justin French. Thank you, Justin. Okay. And Justin French. Okay. It don't reset. Even the member stuff don't reset. I got unsubscribed randomly a while back. Shake my head. That was a nice round. I gotta say this, the Poke Shuffle has been on fire, man. People love that Poke Shuffle. Here's a Marceline card. I wouldn't mind popping this in the Poke Shuffle. Okay. It's only a 3-spot card, and might as well. Okay. The Condon Kitty was always in the room. Should we put a store credit kitty into the Poke Shuffle? Next up, we have an order from Team Rocket Grunt. Thank you, LaFlame, again, and tell him a happy birthday. Let me get 9 prismatic packs and a spot in the Mew break. Thanks. Okay, so that is Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. And he wants into the Mega Sublist. Oh, we're almost done with the Mew. Did you guys notice that? The Mew is close. So we got you on spot number 2, Team Rocket Grunt. That's the Mega Sublist. 10 spots, right? Well, here's what's interesting about that. When you go over to the Mega Break, where's the Mega Break? There it is. All right. So this is up to 5 out of 7. So there's only 2 more runs of the Mega Sublist, and it's over. That one right there that already has 2 people on it, and then 1 fresh run after that. This is very close. It's down to its last 20 spots, in fact. Last 20 Sublist spots, and 2 have sold. So really there's 18 left. Really interesting. Now, you also wanted 9 prismatics. Good. 9 of them. Let's get it. Now, I'm betting that adds up to about 200. Is that right? I bet that's right. Here, let's grab this. Excuse me. I just felt unwell. Did you? There. All right. Well, you have nothing to feel bad about, Brandon, because look, LaFlame donated these too. And he donated card in the daytime stream as well. So we got these to give away, and we have a booster box to give away from our friend, Mr. Mark. I mean, there's a lot of giveaways. We are. All right, you just stay subscribed, and you'll get to that 1 year point. And if you're at 1 year subscribed, you'll be able to get into some exclusive breaks. I think it's a good thing, to be honest, because there's people who have been around this community for a very long time. And I think that if some of the breaks favor them, that's not such a bad thing, is it? That's not such a bad thing. There's a lot of breaks, and doing a special thing for people who've been here for 1 year every now and again, it's not bad. All right, we do many public breaks. Actually, like 95, 96% of all breaks are just public breaks. We are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just wanted people to know that I noted that they couldn't be bothered to hit the like button for a LaFlame's birthday giveaway, but they wanted the giveaway, and I didn't like that. Maybe I was being sensitive. Maybe I was the sensitive one. I was salty over that. I was like, really? All right, here we are. All right. But I do take it seriously. It's not something that I don't notice. All right. And shaboom. There we go. So none of these. Oh, yeah. So how does this add up, by the way, before I go through with this? Let me just see. Oops, that's not right. Okay, so you have about $2.50 left. That's what I was curious about. Okay, I can toss this now. So you got $2.50 left, Mr. Team Rocky Grunt. Okay. Boop. Very nice. I'm impressed that Polytoad has gone up so much over time, because the last time I had priced it, it had gone up in price. And so now it's up in price again. Where does it end? Let's snip this. Snipping that. Snipping this. And snipping this. All right, there it is. Okay, Pinsir Lucario. Ooh. Here's Duraludon Jolteon. Here's Max Rod Iron Boulder. Ooh. And Larvitar Houndour. Look at that Larvitar. Very nice. Here's Professor's Research. Ta-da! Look at that Professor's Research. Very nice. Wow, he's like $1 million. Here's the Crispin. Pheasantipity Groudon. Change that. There we go. I think they've got a machine in Japan called the CRISPR, and they just used it to remove Down syndrome from a baby, right? Didn't I do an article on that? I shared that in the Discord server. They were able to get rid of the extra chromosome using science and technology. How insane is that, guys? Black Belts Training. Ooh. And come on! Woo! Bella! Oh, yeah. Mamma mia. Wow, dude. That's a lot of moolah just to pull Mela. Damn it, I was asleep. Boop. All right, Max Rod, Prime Catcher, Jolteon is Golteon. Lovely, Golteon. Boop. The Larvitar's cute. Wow, dude. 3 trainers. Holy, that's tough. That was for Team Rocky Grunt. You are also in that Mew break. All right, let's find your bag. Let's grab this. Nice $10 return on those packs. Holy, man, that is a tough set. That is a tough set. I don't know what to think about that. That is shocking. Really difficult. All right. Ooh, I should have marked this down as 825, but I think it's fine. There we go. Fresh bag there. Let's get rotate on these. What do we have here? We've got Wigglytuff for $400. Lovely Tops Wigglytuff. The Jolteon Heartbreak actually has 2 people in it now. Ah, this checklist, Carddass. Giovanni's Gyarados. And Electabuzz. He's buzzing. He's morbid. Who's next? Mr. Blake, we're back. He says, Tops pack and 3 shuffles. Ooh, chance for a Charizard in this, by the way. How many boxes of Aether Drift do you have left? We're actually on the last box of Aether Drift right now, and then I'm sold out. And by the way, 1 pack has come out of the box. So that's it. So there's 11 packs remaining. Last box of it. Okay. Turn this down a little bit. I gotta hop on that soon. Ooh, Togepi Trouble. Yes, the Aether Drift, I will probably not bother restocking that one. It is, but I know you like it. But that one generally just sold to you. Look at that, Togepi in Trouble. No, I guess Mr. Taddeo was also buying it. He was the one that got the new box started. Oh, lovely Squirtle. So, don't be mistaken. This Squirtle is totally gradable. Okay, Mr. Blake, lovely card. If this grades 10, it's valuable. Even though it's not holographic. And let's see what else. So we got the Mewtwo in the test tube, Charizard with his head stuck, and Squirtle and Snubble. Man, does anyone care about Snubble these days? I feel like Snubble is a forgotten Pokemon. Okay. I spent all my monies. No! Here we are. All right. 3 shuffles. All right. We'll set this over here. And, oops, and. All right, 6. We're gonna teach you some video editing. We're gonna get you working on videos. 1, 2, 3. We pay in Pokemon cards. Ooh, look at that. 3 cold ones. Ooh, cold ones. Mr. Blake, where will I run into your bag? Snubble is snubbed a lot. Here's Blake. Blake, who lives by a lake. Set that down. Blake, which rhymes with earthquake. There's a Brett bag. There's a Brett bag. Here's a Blake Santoro. Mr. Blake. I can draw, but video editing, if you like to draw, especially if you draw on like a drawing pad, trust me, you are this close to video editing because they are very similar. They are similar in a lot of ways. A lot of times it's just understanding the tools of an editing machine. That's all it is. It is. You might actually not know it. You might actually love video editing, and because you don't practice it, you're not aware of it. So yeah, there's a bright future for video editing. It's a good. Actually, I say that all the time because everyone needs a video editor these days. You know, if you have developed a skill in video editing, you can work on your own channel and like 3 other people's channels if you want. If you have the energy, if you got the motivation and the ambition. But yeah, video editing, that's not going away. There's so many social medias now. Here's Pupitar. Here's Moltres. Plus the ability to work on your own content too. That's a good thing. Ooh. So we were still working on this giveaway. It's almost done. Look at that. Up to 17. But this is on pause while we get all these other big giveaways done. Here's Mothman 9. Poor Mothman. Here's Lantern. Did you think money buy high-end graded cards at conventions with cash to launder money? Okay, I saw the word money laundering and cash and card vending. If you're talking about people trying to wash money by buying Pokemon cards with cash at collecticons, anything's possible these days, man. I would say possibly. Why not? They're always looking for something. Could be Pokemon cards, could be sports cards, could be gold. Hey, here's an idea. Let's ask AI. Do you think anyone has ever laundered money with cash buying collectibles? Let's see what it says. It might report a report. Yes, absolutely. People have laundered money through cash purchases of collectibles. It's a known method in the world of financial crime. Oh. In 2021, the U.S. Treasury released a report specifically warning about money laundering risks in the arts and collectibles. Pokemon and sports cards have been mentioned in FBI investigations when criminal assets were seized. Wow. So the FBI would seize criminal assets, and they found Pokemon cards amongst them. Wow. Avoid large, anonymous, cash-only deals. Wow. Crazy. Well, that's not a surprise. All right. Happy birthday, LaFlame, says Smoked Out Turtle. Yes, thank you so much for saying that. It is his birthday, and that guy came in and did like $400, $500 of donations. What exactly was it? $485 of donations. Can you believe it? And we still have more to give out. We've got 2 of his slabs to hand out. This Mothman is going to go into the Pokey Shuffle. We are going to do it a specific way, though. He's going to be called the Store Credit Mothman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8 cards here. And it's going to say 45 F Moth. Or, so you're not going to get the full 40. You're going to be offered $30 store credit. And if you accept the $30 of store credit, he will go back into the box, this time for $30. That's how it'll work. So you have to choose. You have to make a choice. That's the store credit card. But you might actually prefer the Mothman. But it's time for him to go. All right. Let's see. Wilson Chalco's here. Hey, Mr. 4 Pokey Shuffles, please. Wilson Chalco. Holy moly, man. Lewd makes money. I can't share a lot of it because either the commissions want it private or it's too raunchy. What? Here we are. 6. When can I commission you to draw Lewd Gordy, though? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! Good. 4 cold ones. Ah, that sucks. Anytime. Lewd Gordy. So funny, dude. All right. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. That's 4 cold ones. And now we have Blake Santoro. He says 2 live, 1 custom, or 2 customs, 1 shuffle. Here goes. So 2 live customs. We got 1 and we got 2. Wow. That's crazy, dude. That's so lucky. And now 1 Pokey Shuffle. You ready? Let's see what it is. Can you draw me like the girl in Titanic? We got 1, 2, 3, and a win. Garbodor. Okay. Put this back over here. Now let's see what's in here. Nido King. Okay, picking up the Nido King tonight. This has been a good night for Mr. Blake. Oh, that's not bad. That's a Topps 10 Nido King. All right. Solid card. Blake Santoro. All right. So now we have an order from... Well, tonight, Mr. Blake's been pretty generous. It's been a breaks night tonight so far. People just absolutely love the random Pokey Shuffle. Here is a beautiful Suicune. That's a nice card. We also have Ghastly 10 from Japanese base set. Oh, such a nice card. Let's pop him in here. So he's 100. Actually, yeah, let's pop him in here. So he's a $100 card. Let's get him in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Ghastly going in the live customs. Solid card from the base set. Okay. How many spots left in the Jungle Pack break? You ready? So there's only 4 spots left in the Jungle Pack break. There's also the split break, whatever you want to call it. We also have this binder break, has just 2 spots left in it. It's got a goofy Mad Cargo in the front, but obviously it has really nice cards in here. 2 spots left, and the binder break, the very first binder break that we've ever hosted, goes off. It's kind of a cool thing. That also means we'll end up working on a brand new binder break, right? We want a brand new one, and it'll be fun to watch. I was thinking the next one could be really gigantic or something. I don't know. Should it be? I don't know if this, I don't know what people prefer. A really gigantic binder break versus a really small one. All right, so we place this right here. So that's 100. And now he goes in the back. There we go. Ta-da. I have a crap ton of English AR cards I'm trying to pawn off. Okay. Mostly people just get my Discord, then contact me. All right, so here's Cloud and Absol, and Smeargle. Ooh, that's nice. Smeargle. Here's Eevee. And here is, oh, a new commission slab, the Togepi. Which reminds me, we could be adding another commission slab to the table. Let's see what we got here. Is this Magikarp alone? He's a yellow deck Magikarp, so he's pretty nice. There is a Nidorina and a Nidoqueen. Let's get this Manectric. Get that Manectric up here. We might as well get this guy up here since we know the price of the other one. We're going to work on this Jirachi as well. These are all slabs we got from our friend, Mr. Adam. Okay, you ready? There we go. Okay, so this shall be 45. That's not good. Might be time for me to buy more price stickers. We blast through these things, man. We just go straight through them. We run out of these so fast. Wonder if I should have like a price gun. Just do price gun on it. So this shall be 45. All right, 45 AP. The Manectric from Ruby Sapphire. He wants 275 for it. I feel like that will not sell for 275. Manectric. He's a cool card and all, but that feels like a PSA 10 price almost. Let's go looking around. Let's see what we run into. Okay. We're going to say CGC 10. Manectric. Oops. Main truck. So, yeah, like for example, here is a Crystal Guardians reverse hollow Manectric for 120. Here's Emerald reverse for 230. So Emerald, of course, Emerald's maybe looked at as a bit more of a rare set. Pretty sure. Oh, he's an actual rare card in Emerald. This is not a rare card. Oh, he is a rare card in this set as well. Okay, but they don't describe it that way. Oh, that's interesting. We're learning things. Here's for 119 out of Holland Phantoms as a reverse foil. This is him and Emerald as a plain hollow. So this is a hollow out of Team Magma Aqua, 75. All right. See, I do feel like that price might be high. I don't know where he came up with that price, but let's go on to look at Ruby. Okay, Manectric Ruby. Looking for this exact card. I'm not seeing it. Let me try the PSA 10 price real fast. So it's just sort of a made-up price. That's what's going on here. It's just sort of a made-up price, and we don't truly know what it should be. You know, when I compare it to other CGC 10s, the fact that there are cards like the Reverse Hollow Crystal Guardians one for 120 does make me feel like this price was a bit high. Swap over to buy it now real fast. So what are we going with? We're going with, oh, let's remove Ruby. All right, there we go. Removing Ruby from it. And then we're going with lowest price. And then buy now. And then let's get back into it. So once again, let me get to it. So here's a hollow Team Aquas for just 70. That's reverse hollow. Here's another hollow for 80, 75. That's pre-release. Here's an Emerald hollow for 100. Holland Phantom for 120. Holland Phantom's a pretty good standard. That and Crystal Guardians for 120. So look at that. That is a very nice card. Oh, that says reverse foil or hollow on it though. But this one's a true actual hollow. That's the oh yeah, no, that's right. The reverse hollow has the stamp. I'm so silly. Yeah, no, that's right. So I think 120 is probably the appropriate price, to be honest with you, because I think this is very comparable to those. All right, let's grab this. I can show you stuff I do for myself while I draw my OCs safe for work. They're all going to start asking for your stuff because they're going to be like, show us the naughty stuff you do. We are. 6, are you a gooner? We are. Tell us the truth. We are. We're all right. 825 on this. We're going to say AP. There we go. All right. Very nice. Good. Now, Magikarp Yellow and Jirachi are left to price up. But let's take a break from that and take a quick look at the queue. The queue. Let's take a look at the queue. Top tier Gooner. I create Goon content. What? Okay. Here's, oops. Where are the LaFlame Commission slabs? Let's get Birthday Boy some sales. Plus, I know he's got good stuff, says Mr. CC. Yes, would you like to find some LaFlame slabs, guys? Give me a minute here. He's got a couple left, I think. Well, I was just about to work on the, queue, but you were asking a good question, so let's go find some of his slabs. I think the river float is going to be rained out. Ah, here we are. Here's one. The Ace of Spades. Ho-Oh. That's the correct price, I believe, on a Ho-Oh. We can double check it, but I'm pretty sure that price hasn't changed. So that's Ace of Spades Ho-Oh. He's not bad. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't grab these. You want to grab a lot of them, but then if you try to, they all slide out of your fingers. Ah, here we are. So that's a Kyogre. Now, it's a PSA 8 Kyogre priced at $153. I think that's a very, very fair price, because that is one of the top cards out of Hidden Legends. That's a Tammy, Anthony Tammy. Tammy's got some good cards in here, to be honest. Yeah, Tammy's got some nice ones. Okay, what do we got here? We've got, hey, look, this is a drawing. So my wife drew this. She's an artist now. Ooh, that's $100 if you'd like that. That's A for authentic is the grade. Ah, he's got this nice Umbreon. Yeah, we'll get Mr. LaFlame's cards up here for his birthday. Why not? Tammy's birthday went by too. We ought to put Tammy's cards back up here for her birthday. Oops. Wait a second. These are supposed to just rotate back onto the table anyways, though, is the funny thing. They're supposed to rotate back onto the table like a schedule. I was about to say, my birthday was 3 days ago. What? Sorry, Tammy. We just like LaFlame better. No, I'm joking, obviously. We are. All right. Okay. LaFlame doesn't tuck me into bed at night like you do, Tammy. All right. Squeaky wheel gets the juice, Tammy. What he's saying is you need to be an inanimate object. Like a wheel. There you go. Or a bottle stopper. Bottle stoppers get the juice too. But it's a different kind of juice. It's liqueur. Mister, I hope you're joking, bro. Was that a Magikarp playing card I saw in the box to the left? I don't know. Was it? Oh, you mean the yellow deck Magikarp? Yes, it is. It's a good card. All right. Let me hit play on this. Ooh, I don't know if I want to play this music because I think that's going to get us copyrighted. Let's go back to the Mario. All right. Gross. All right. Let's grab this. It's gross to tuck me into bed at night. Wow. Now my feelings are hurt. There. Put that over there. That's all right. Hathim will read me Goodnight Moon. we are. Here's Welcome to Wonderland, Palkia, Umbreon, Kaio Gray, and Ho-Oh. You got the juice now, mister. Hell yeah, dude. We got the juice. All right. I like go totally emo. Would you accept a sealed booster box of base Scarlet Violet for the final payment of the $180 slab away? Yeah, we could probably work out something like that. As long as it was worth around $180, I could do that for you. All right. Okay. So those are all the flame slabs there. And they're probably at good prices too, if I had to bet. There we go. Now, Luke Lurie, $30 to slab away. Thank you, Mr. Luke Lurie. That's going to drop to 80. Very nice. Here's Mark Simon, 10 Poke Shuffles. Okay, 10 Poke Shuffles. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. Okay, let's see. Oh, Ivysaur. 1 Ivysaur it is. Let's get you that Ivysaur. Grabbing this. 1 Ivysaur. Ah. Good. Tossing that. Mark Simon. All right. Good. I kind of get in on the giveaway, bro. Sorry I got into the stream late. All you got to do is smash that like button and type in LaFlame. Okay, very good. Let's see. Nah, I'm teasing you, man. I'm afraid it already ended. Last sold $220, plus I must pay my own shipping, so a flat $200. I don't mind, mister. Sounds good to me. Send it on in. You can send it. Do you need my address? Let me know if you need my address, because I can send it to you. Now, we should check the prices on these maybe, right? I feel like the prices could be out of date. That one could take a while to sell. I feel like this one right here maybe is better suited for eBay, but I feel like this one would be hard to sell, the Tops one. And then the Palkia is nice. Although I don't know if people are ready for it. Look at that nice Giratina on the back. Oh, we're still zoomed out? Hold on, let me zoom back in. There it goes. Here's Umbreon 9, Japanese Master Ball. That's certainly out of date. Let's take another look at this card. This is definitely cheaper. I'm on Discord. Send the address. Go ahead and send me a DM so that I know who to give that address to, okay? All right, so this will say PSA 9. Umbreon. Umbreon 092 Master Ball. All right, so it's a pretty pricey card actually, but it is in fact $85 now. This is an $85 card, so this card has come down in price on its own naturally. This was to be expected. You know why? Because there were so many of these left to grade. There were so many of these to grade that had not been graded yet. Okay. Also, whenever you do send it to me, you want to make sure that I definitely understand what's going on. So be sure to include a message with it that it's, it's for your slab away and that, that you're Mr. Miguel. So it'll be important for me to know that. So leave a little message, a little note. All right, so we're going to say 84 on this. And we'll put in LaFlame. Okay. How about this one, the Palkia? Ooh, Palkia. We're pricing up a lot of slabs tonight. Palkia Poker. Palkia Poker. None available. Let's see. None for sale at all. So we're going to stick to that $100 because that is Palkia Poker. Very cool. The Kyogre Hidden Legends. Take a quick look into that. Make sure that's up to date. Kai-O Gray Hidden Leggings. Ooh, this might have gone up. Look at this. So this one's in auction right now, and it's at $162 in auction with more time to go. Let's take a quick look and see what the sold prices on these are. So it does look like the card last sold on July 8th for $167 plus $14 shipping. So I don't think it would be that insane to actually raise the price on this one. Mister, I messaged you on Discord. Sounds good. I'll get you that address, okay? Okay. You can send that box in and the mule will be done. You guys can do that too, by the way. If you're just looking to pay off a slab, you could take a very standard like booster box and send it in, and we'll accept that as payment. Okay. Wow. So he had a card that went down. He had a card that went up. I think this card's the same. I think we looked this one up very recently. So let's take a quick look at this. So this is kind of hard. It's tricky to look this one up, by the way. You know why? Because if you look up Ho-Oh, that's a lot of the cards have Ho-Oh on the back. So we're going to say Poker Ho-O, and then maybe we'll say Ace. Poker Ho-Oh Ace. Yeah, here it is. Oh, look at that. $265 with 14 watchers. He might be more expensive. Let's take another look. I don't see any sold. Let's try Poker Ho-Oh 250 because PSA writes it down as 250. All right, so over here, you can actually see that there's the Ho-Oh with the edges there. That's actually Silver Deck 2. The one that has the actual Ho-Oh on the back like this, that's the one on the bottom for $265. So we will actually be raising the price on this as well to match that $265. Because that's what we do. We match cheapest buy now prices. 14 watchers is a healthy sign, by the way. That means people prefer this one. Probably because it's an Ace of Spades version of the card. Like, yeah, Ace of Spades is way cooler. That's probably the major reason for that. Okay, and there we have it. Move this over here. And we'll put this here. And we'll put this here, maybe. This is kind of sticking out too far, too. All right, perfect. What do you guys think of that? That looks great. Now let's take a quick look at that message. Okay. There goes. All right, you got a shipping address now. Thank you so much for that. Sarah's here. She says, I'll take a box of PRB02. Miss Sarah, I was just waiting for this order, Miss Sarah. I was thinking, I wonder where Sarah's at. All right, thanks for the order. Here goes. All right. Tossing that. All right. Let's start sneeping. All right, let's see. And we'll snip this. What's going to buy it for $150? Glad I didn't send it in. Rip. The Ho-Oh, right? Ah, man. That would have been annoying, huh? There we go. So he is the Ace of Spades Ho-Oh, right? Now, if we open up the app, take a look. So these two up here are the Queen of Spades for $150. This one's the Ace of Spades with 14 watchers. So this is, again, why I think that that one's actually appropriate at $265. Now, I have the other one for sale, too. I have the Queen of Spades one somewhere. I don't know where it went last, but it's somewhere. I actually have it. It's available. That one is for sale for $150. But it's my job to make sure that these get sold for the right prices. I don't want to just undersell because I made some goofy mistake. We are. All right. I think that's a distinction, right? Ace looks very good on that card, especially with it being like a big legendary. All right, come on, Sarah. There we go. That 150 was likely based on a little while ago, which means the price on that card has moved up. Now the question is, does the one on eBay sell? Because if it does, if it sells for $265, this would be like 10 or 15% more than $265. So think about that for a second. That means we'll add, what would that be, like $35 to the price? So you could be looking at this selling for about $305. If the one on eBay sells, we'll be asking $305 for this one. So yes, that all depends on if it sells, though. Maybe it won't, but gotta admit that's not that crazy of a price for a nice, you know, year 2000 Ho-Oh Ace of Spades. 300's not that unreasonable. 265, that is. It's not that crazy. We are. So you got one more full art to pop out of here, Miss Sarah. Let's see if we can find that. Okay. Oh, it is. I never feel bad when I have to pay full price for a card, because it's sort of, you know, that sets the price for the value of the card that day, you know. So if you're out there, let's say there's a slab I want and I got to pay $5,000 for it, and I'd rather have this for cheaper than $5,000. It's like, that's true. But it's okay. It's okay when the other guy makes a little bit of money. Remember, because this money will go to Mr. LaFlame mostly. It's okay for that. But also, you're kind of setting the price for the value of the card that you now own. You now own that. It is. So that's what's important about that. It is all right. So if you want that card to be worth $265, you're part of that market. You're part of that deciding factor for that market. Proof that a card can sell for that price. But don't buy it just for that idea alone. Buy it if you really want it. See? So that's how you do it. That's how you pick out slabs. All right. Tossing this over here. Miss Sarah picking up guy with the wiggly hair. Do you think I'd look nice with hair like this, Sarah? Here's Escape from Jail Man. And that looks like it's some kind of Luffy arm, to be honest, because it's so skinny. All right, cool. No problem. No, don't. What? What are you saying? All right, let's set this here. Miss Sarah, you got a bag. Oh, I remember you. Miss Sarah, you like to donate hollows generally. Let me know if that's not true anymore. But let me extract some of these, okay? Giving you the Dawn card. Here's a nice little Luffy. Dawn card. All right. Blackbeard. He's everyone's favorite, apparently. I love Blackbeard. Don't hair stiping fast gaming. What? What are you saying? Six is talking in code. Six, are you gaming? You can't just be gaming all day long, Six. You are. All right. Sorry, Six, you're going to have to go back to your corporate job. You can't just be gaming. All right. Mayhaps, she says. Mayhaps. There we go. Man, mayhaps this stream got pretty quiet. It's the quietest stream. Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate all your big orders. You have done us a very nice thing, Miss Sarah. So let's get a refresh on these slabs now. We've got Omastar for $210, Legend Maker. Curious. Here's... It's why I'm out of money. Been gaming too much instead of working. Here it is. Oh, look at that. Very nice. I can understand that. Hey, you got a busy schedule, man. All right. You got gaming, making Gooner content, Pokemon card, counting. All right. I'm starting to think I want to trade lives with the Six. This sounds pretty nice. Here's Team Rocket's Zapdos. Zap Zap. That's a nice card. Like it. That's it, Six. You're grounded. What up, Ryan, my boy? I'm up. Whew. How can I get in on the giveaway? Last sold 220. Plus, I must pay my own shipping. 3 rats, 2 dogs. Life is good. Only 3 rats? Why don't you have like 30 rats? I would have at least 30. I would have a gaggle of rats. At least a gaggle. So how about this yellow deck magic card? Let's take a quick look at the yellow deck magic card. We got a lot of pricey slabs here. Poker. Oops, what just happened? What the hell? Let's go back. I spent $1,400 in the last day on some non-Pokemon cards, which should show up in the mail soon. All right, so there is no Pokemon Yellow for sale. Pokemon Yellow Magikarp. There's no sold information either. Is it really pop 3? I assume it is. The truth is all the poker cards are low pop. But yeah, yellow tends to be a little more rare. Yeah, it's pop 3. So let's see. I don't really know what to price it for. Let's see. So the most expensive fish is $150. I say we go. How much is the blue one? Man, there's a PSA 10 blue Magikarp right now for $100, and that hasn't sold. That's just sitting there. So I feel like you can ask as much as you want on it. But if you ask too high, I don't think it's going to sell, because there's, you know, the blue one's right there, and the blue one's not bad either. Blue and yellow are kind of similar, except yellow has Pikachu on the back, which is probably a little more desirable than blue. My childhood dog passed away in 2016. I will never forget him. That's right. All dogs do go to heaven, Miss Six. No fret. Since my girlfriend still is a dog trainer, we have 5 dogs in the house and maybe a couple more for training. Jesus. 5 dogs? The house would be so smelly. It'd smell like dog. And then it'd be like, ruff, 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 like 24/7. There'd be dog hair everywhere. I couldn't handle that. Plus 2 cats. No, dude. You can't have 5 dogs and 2 cats. 7 animals? No way, dude. No way. He says, nope, we clean. There's just no way, dude. It's got to be dirty. You can say that. I'm not going to believe it. It's so clean in our house. We swear. So clean. So very clean. Okay, so this is going to say A.P. So there it is. You have a nice yellow Magikarp. Ooh, lovely. Wahaha, we have 5 acres. Well, I mean, 5 acres is nice, but if the dogs are staying indoors, that's a different story. Yeah, if the dogs are outdoor dogs, no problem. 5 acres, outdoor dogs, it's all good. But if they're indoor dogs, what the? Just 5 indoor. If they're indoor outdoor dogs, now you're getting crazier, bro. Indoor outdoor. Dogs run around, get a little dirty, run inside. Nah, it's clean, bro. We might have different definitions of clean. Okay, so what we have here is a lovely EX Deoxys Jirachi. It's a nice card. This one graded 10. Let's have a quick look over it. Okay, it has a pretty clear white dot up here. So, you know, this is why CGC needs to do a buyback on all its cards. That's my belief. You know, that's a good video. I should write that down as a video. Hold on. Okay, let's see. CGC should buy back their 10s. Okay, so I'll save that. Did my Victini get a 10 yet? Actually, they pushed the completion date back to August 5th now. So it's taking them longer than they originally scheduled for it. So they actually pushed the finish date back. Okay, here's our lovely Jirachi, right? Jirachi. I'm going to cry, says 6. I just had 3 CGC. Well, you have to be prepared for if they give it a 9 or an 8, okay, 6? So don't forget that as well. Don't necessarily place your chickens in one basket if you're hoping that it'll grade 10 and then it'll be like some instant flip. Because if it grades 9 or 8, it's not going to be as good. There's Jirachi. PSA has been horrendously sharp lately. Like, look, this Mew, that could have been a 9. They gave it an 8. That's how rough they are. Although it does look like an 8. All right, so all I'm saying is you got to be careful. It's going to be 10, trust. You say that, man. I'm telling you, 6. PSA standard changed. They're very tough now. Very, very tough. I'm hoping that Dragonite gets a 10 like crazy. I'm really hoping the Dragonite gets a 10, but with how they were grading my last order, I just assume it's 9 or even 8. I'm telling you, it could be 8. PSA, they're that rough right now. Like, you're not even safe to get a 9 anymore. They say, this ain't a 9. This is an 8. Sucks. So, dang, dude. So this might be a pricey little card. It looks kind of unassuming, but this is a holographic Jirachi from the Deoxys collection. Okay, nothing in the completed item. Let's take a quick look at the PSA price. PSA price is not always a good way to factor the value of these cards because some of these do not look that good. All right. Said there was one on eBay. Is it gone? Well, I have like one longer arm hair than the rest of my arm hairs. With oh, here we go. Oh, that's German though. Never mind. Okay, so that doesn't count. Let me check sold maybe. Ah, okay. We do have some data on it now. So it looks like the PSA 10 Jirachi sold for $787 in auction in May. May was a couple months ago, so you have to assume it's higher than that. And then you said you found one for sale on eBay for $2,000, but I have not ran into that. Let's type in Jirachi Deoxys 9 maybe. No, now it's just showing me PSA 9s. Ugh, so annoying. How about Jirachi EX Deoxys? Let's try that, EX Deoxys. Oh, let me add one more thing to this. There we go. Sort by best match, maybe? Let's see. I can't find it. So this is a tricky one. It's a very rare card. We don't want to underprice it. He said PSA 10 on eBay asking was $2,000. Truly, these tend to go for about 1/3 of the PSA 10. Let me explain. When it's a highly rare card, like let's say Gold Star Torchic, the PSA 10 version can absolutely eclipse the CGC Gem Mint version. Typically, this centers around the issue of the CGC Gem Mint 10s actually secretly being 9s. This one basically is a 9. Look, that's a 9. And so we have to have a respectful price, asking price on a card like this. If you found one for $2,000 as a PSA 10, I think probably 700 is probably the limit. 700, because again, there was the PSA 10 that sold in May, the PSA 10 for $780, and it probably went up from that. Yeah, so it's probably higher than $780 now. Maybe it's like 1.5, maybe it is 2,000. So I feel like 700 is probably just around the range that the card should be at. That's my theory. You can disagree with that. We're going to set it down for 700, and we're going to go ahead and say AP on it. I'm trying to be very fair on the price here. We don't want to overcharge. We don't want to undercharge. I'm almost like a real estate agent right now, trying to help you price the card correctly. But about 1/3 of the asking price of a PSA 10, that seems to be the, for vintage cards, especially vintage cards where it's clearly a very weak 10, that seems to be the right space. But I believe CGC is in trouble, man. They need to buy back cards like this. They need to buy them. And then they need to downgrade them to 9s. Pump them back out in the market to make some of the money back. I only accept 10s, says 6. What? It's Japanese cards, so you have a good chance. LA 10s, the best of the best. We got our... Ooh, what's this song, man? That sounds terrible. All right, let me turn this down. So we have been working on prices. It is 5 a.m. in the morning. We are only 2 hours deep into the stream. It's not a very long stream, but I have noticed that the orders have fallen. Blake says, I sent a Discord message. Gee, I wonder what this will be. Blake's about to ask me if he can have more shuffles. Let's see. All right, let me go ahead and mark this unread. Okay, so you would like me to make an offer on the 2 slabs that you just pulled out of there. So I'll say on the top Snyder King, EKB 60. Now on the Quest Eevee, let me take a look at Quest Eevee. Annie Man's doing gift memberships now? What the hell? Jesus, man. So Nido King, we can do 60 on him. The other one is the Quest Eevee. I'm not seeing Quest Eevee. Let me do a research on that Quest Eevee, okay? We priced up the Quest Eevee a while ago. Carddass Quest Pokemon. All right. I see that Metapod sold. All right, let's see. Man, you got me yawning, man. What did I pay for it in the past? Because it was expensive in the past, wasn't it? Okay, let's see. Oops. Well, Okay, so for the Eevee one, I'm not necessarily trying to buy back the Eevee in this case. In this case, I think what I can do is I can offer to set it up for commission for you. Let me explain commission. Oops, there we go. Oh, you want the Neat Arena as well. Let me take a quick look into the Neat Arena. So it says Neat Arena was 60, huh? Okay. All right. There it is. All right, perfect. Yeah, the Eevee's a big one, and I just got it moved off the table, and so I was kind of hoping to do another Quest Slab on the table soon. If I buy back the Eevee, here's the problem. I can put it up on the table into a break, but I don't know if people will be wanting to redo that whole Eevee break, because that one was kind of a break that took a while. It is, so I'm happy to see it off the table. All right, Annie Man, he sent in, I think, a $50 donation, man. Crazy. Let's see. That's really crazy. You're placed at 140. Wild stuff, man. I returned from diaper duty. Wah, wah. Diaper duty. By the way, was it a boy or a girl? I don't remember. You said it was a boy, right? And that you named him Cardconomist, right? Mark Simon. 10 Pokey Shuffles for Mark Simon. Mark! Here goes Mark. Good luck, Mark. Mistress running on HE should have drank a Gatorade to replenish those electrolytes. 2, 3. I did do some sweating today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did some walking at night, and it was still like 100-degree air. It was so hot, dude. I got soaked. And I actually did some weightlifting today, so I've been doing some weightlifting, and we are. Oh, Mark, that sucks, dude. Look at this, guys. Cold round, Mark. That's a cold round in the Pokey Shuffles. That's very possible for that to happen, so be careful in there. That is very possible for that to happen. Ooh, that hurts, man. We just had our second boy a week ago. Nice, dude. All right. I did walking. I did some hip movements today. That counts, right? And we did, I did squats and some weightlift. So I actually have been doing quite a bit of exercising. Yeah. And then also still on my strict eating diet thing. But today we kind of ate more of a normal meal. So I would not say today was any sort of calorie deficit. But just ate sort of like a steak, potatoes, and broccoli kind of thing. So it wasn't too bad. All right. Yep, a boy. And his name is Charizard. Sweet. Look, he's shiny. He came out as a shiny type. Here's a card for the table. Here's a pricey card. Spectra Jolteon. Let's see. I think we just had a big order come in. Give it a minute here. Hip movement. Yeah, something like that. So this top Spectra Jolteon shall be 1,400. Incremental change in consistency will yield best results. What? They are. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get swole, guys. All right. Good. Do you think tag will be close to the equivalent of PSA years down the road, debating on buying an expensive tag slab? You know, that's only something to speculate on. I think that tag is a strong contender for sure. I think CGC needs to do some stuff to stay relevant. I think CGC needs to make a couple changes. Here's Saladusaberry. 1 box OP9, 2 Japanese boxes OPPRB2, and 1 spot in the Pokemon Go. Wow, you're just going deep. All right, you got it, Miss Sarah. All you. So Sarah Dusenberry is in the ETB break now. Here it is with Andy. Is it just Andy or is it another person too? It says Andy and Sarah. That means that we are 2 out of 4. We just need 2 more people. And that goes off. Same with the binder break. The binder break just needs 2 more people and it's done. I like that Elekid. Let's get this Elekid up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Elekid. Karuta. All right. Just do one of these and put this up here. Very nice. Now 1 OP9. Let's start there. Oh, it is OP9. Good. Good luck. 1 whole box of OP9. I like how the manga rares look so very nice in this series. They're legitimately really nice. Ready? Sleep. All right, let's get it. Good. And we'll just snip this. I wonder how the Gem 2s have been performing. This. And snip this. And snipping this. All right, very good. Miss Sarah, 1 whole OP9. This episode brought to you by Sarah. Miss Sarah and Mr. Blake. 2 big dogs tonight. This is Mr. LaFlame's birthday stream, by the way. He just gave away $200 for his birthday. And we handed that out in the middle of the stream. How cool is that? $200 giveaway. Pretty insane. It's not even done either. We've got more LaFlame stuff to hand out. We got 2 nice slabs to hand out. Here's a hollow. And a hollow. Here's one of these. Oh. Here's a hollow. And another hollow. All right, very nice. Miss Sava. We've got, these are nice. And one of these, ooh. We've got one of these. Oh, lovely. Some more. I'd like some more, sir. Here's some of these. And one of these. And one of these. Okay. What do we got? Oh, you got the guy with the cross on his neck. Very cool. All right. Because he's the super guy or something like that, right? I watched the Netflix special, by the way. I watched the whole thing. I didn't fully understand it all, but I got the gist. All right, and there we go. There we have it. They're making another round of that, right? The Netflix special is getting like a season 2. Speaking of season 2, how about Stranger Things? Can't believe that's still going. Stranger Things. They're going to be like 40-year-olds, right? All the kids, right? They're going to be like 25 years old. How's that supposed to work out? All right. I'm assuming this is the final season. I hope it's not absolutely terrible. All right, there we go. Let's place this in here. Random tag slabs fetch more than PSA. I think there's a simple explanation for that, though. I think it's just the case that there's not a lot of them, and so the lack of competition drives price slightly higher. So 2 boxes of PRB02. Come on, PRB02, don't let us down now. Ta-da. Yeah, I think there's less competition with tag slabs for now. But you know that will change over time. As tag continues working, that will change over time. All right. Yeah, they are making another season. That's good. Something to look forward to, you know. You gotta have... This is why, you know, when people say they want to get into entertainment and their parents are like, boo, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go be an engineer. You can't take that for granted because entertainment is so important. You got to have something to do with your free time, like opening Pokemon cards or going to the movies or playing a video game. And that means if you want to grow up and make movies and TV shows, you should just go for it, man. Don't let your overly conservative parents stop you from it because I feel like there's never enough. There is never enough content. I can never get enough content. There's all this content being made all day long, and it's never enough. A new show comes out. Woof, it's over. I've watched all of it in a second. You know, it's just over. I've watched it all. So you need new content all the time. There you go. I like to see Mr. watch the anime version. It would probably drive him mad. We did try to watch it a little bit. No clue what was going on. It's like, I don't know. We tried watching the very first season. That was difficult too. We were like, what is going on? We gave up on that. We did watch Batman Forever tonight. Batman Forever. Remember that with Jim Carrey in it? Oh, it was so terrible. Even Karis thought it was terrible. We still watched it all the way to the end, though. All right. So here we go. You ready? It was bad. All right. It had that one Men in Black actor, the old man, playing Two-Face. And it was just not a good role for him. And then you had Jim Carrey being like Jim Carrey. This thing happened in the middle of the movie where Karis, who has traditionally been a very large Jim Carrey fan, she sort of snapped out of it. And she said, wait a second. Jim Carrey sucks, bro. She's like, this is so dumb. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying for years. Here it is. Jim Carrey has always just sort of been this guy who goes like, blah, 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 you know. His style of humor is just, you didn't expect me to act so wacky. And that humor worked for a couple of movies. I think Dumb and Dumber was one of the best, which makes perfectly sense. If you're going to act very dumb, you know, then that style of acting works in Dumb and Dumber. But man, it does not translate so well into the world of Batman. Despite that, when I looked up the movie was a critical success. It made tons of movie back in the 90s. And back in the 90s, it was so famous. Right after it came out. Oh, my iPad's about to die. Read chat. Yeah? What? I forgot to say Japanese packs in my order. Oh, okay. We got this. It says Cody Hodges. It says Hunter Tipton. I'm glad I can enjoy bad movies. They're bad. Take them for what they are. Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey. It seems like he would, doesn't it? But also, Tommy Lee Jones didn't seem like he should have been in that role for Two-Face anyways. He didn't seem like he was meant for that role because it was such a goofy role as well. But I wonder if maybe the director decided to try and make Two-Face that way because he felt like he needed to match Jim Carrey's acting. And so the movie Batman Forever is strongly pushed in the direction of the craziness coming out of Jim Carrey. Like, even the Batman character is very calm, very demure, and there's no wacky craziness to him. And maybe that's because he's meant to be somewhat of a foil to, the Riddler. But the Riddler was not the Joker, and you'd think he would have been with the way that he was behaving. Actually, maybe Jim Carrey as the Joker would have worked really well. If you think about it, maybe Jim Carrey as the Joker is what makes sense. But yeah, he played the Riddler, and it was just like super weird the whole time. It was really uncomfortable. It is. Okay. Look at that. You got the Admiral. There we go. So Karis was always a really big Jim Carrey fan, and after that movie, the illusion kind of snapped, I think. I think she kind of finally saw it for what it was. A lot of his acting is just him, acting really, really zany, really wacky, moving his mouth a lot, moving his... Oh, what's this? This looks nice. So that looks like that Gear 5 Luffy, and this is an embossed card. R-Star. Ooh, very nice, Miss Sarah. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. That's because you fast forward through action scenes. We didn't do any fast forwarding through Batman Forever. I actually wanted to watch it. I wanted to remember it from my childhood. I remember there was like this saucy woman in the movie. And yes, it was the Nicole Kidman or something like that. She's so young in it. She's so young. It's kind of, it's sad how, Father Time always wins. You get old, you start to look like grandma or grandpa in my case. But yeah, she was so young and so sexy. In that Batman movie, but there was no, they didn't have any like even serious kissing scenes or anything like that. I remember as a kid though, finding all that very perturbing, the whole like attraction between them. I was like, oh damn, dude. But as an adult, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Safe for work, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting because I wasn't allowed to watch Batman Returns. That was the previous movie, which Karis and I just watched. And that was, Danny Elfman, Tim Burton, all the way, black and white, very creepy. And apparently that movie did not do well. I did not know that, but Batman Returns did not do well. So I looked that up tonight, and I learned that tonight, that Batman Returns kind of flopped. And that's because parents found it to be too dark, including Catwoman with like her whip, and there was like sadism and all this stuff. Here we are. Batman Returns was weirdly very sexual. Like the way she like licked Batman in one scene. It was like straight up like, it was the pregame for the hub, man. It was some serious stuff. And yeah, the Penguin was kind of like, almost like from a scary movie. He was a really creepy dude. He was kind of a creepy character with very few redeeming qualities and just kind of gross. So I hadn't thought about that. Silverstone as Batgirl. Alicia Silverstone. Better movie. Yeah, I don't know about that yet, but yeah, so by the way, the woman who plays Catwoman in Batman Returns is the same woman who's the love interest in Scarface. So I was surprised to learn that too. I was like, oh, that's why she's recognizable. So look at this. You've got this Luffy, Gear 5 Luffy. I don't know if that's an especially good one, but I suspect if you grade this one, I'm betting that one's going to be more valuable. Here it is, okay, and then you've got all your best Cobblepot. You mean Michelle Pfeiffer. Yes, and boy, she is a saucy lady, man. She is really, really pretty. She isn't just pretty. There's all types of different ways people look. She doesn't just look pretty. She's sexy. And that's hard to just naturally have. Like, people look at you and they go, oh, you're not just pretty, you're sexy. Lots of people look good, healthy, attractive, but she's like sexy, you know? Yeah. I don't know how they do it. Some people got it. It's just a lucky thing to have. There you go. There we have it. All right, and we'll grab this. I like Danny DeVito as Penguin. Yeah, it wasn't bad. So we watched that as well. I don't know if I did sort of a movie review for that. Now, wait a second. These are just regular hollows. Oh, we must have given you a bunch of regular hollows. So in Batman Returns, the plot is just sort of like the bad guy mayor wants to build a energy sucking device that steals energy. Okay. And then Penguin rises from, Penguin there was an attempted murder on him when he was a baby, but the Penguin saved him, I guess. He's been hiding in the sewage, and now he comes up above, and not New York, Gotham is actually very supportive of him. They go, oh, this guy just wants to find his parents. His parents are dead. And then he doesn't really have a story at that point. But the mayor comes up to him, and he wants to, not the mayor, this energy guy who wants to steal energy, he comes up to him, and he says, we should have you be the mayor, because now if you're the mayor, you'll work out this deal with me where we'll build this extra power plant, this evil power plant. I'm sorry, the guy called mayor before, he was not the mayor. He's a businessman who wants to build some sort of energy facility, but it's an evil energy facility. So now there's this storyline going on where him and the Penguin are going to get him ran as mayor, and Batman foils it with he gets control of the news waves, and he has a recording of something nasty Penguin said, and then people, I'm not going to vote for Penguin. So Penguin does what? He's going to kill a bunch of people, and he's got penguins strapped with rockets. It just becomes super crazy. But it's, again, it's a Tim Burton film through and through with all these artworks and styles, lots of black and white, lots of creepiness, and very strong Danny Elfman soundtrack to go with it. What was strange about it? It almost didn't feel like Batman was in the movie that much. That was what was strange about it. I felt like the majority of the movie was Christopher Walken, who it just plays himself almost. And that guy's really good at just playing himself. But it was more about Christopher Walken, Catwoman, and Penguin. That's what the story was about. And they were both of them were strange characters, with the Catwoman being strangely, very sexual, very like a fetish. And then Penguin just being extra creepy and gross. And I guess Warner Brothers kind of regretted having Tim Burton direct it after it was over. So that's why in Batman Forever, they actually kicked Tim Burton off. They say, you don't get to direct this one. And somebody named Schumacher got to direct it. All right, Wilson Chalco, 2 of these lovely Pokey Shuffles, sends an offer for shipping on Discord. Thanks, mister. Some great pulls. Do you ever watch Always Sunny? I never watched that, but I know Danny DeVito's in it. Shoop. 2 cold ones. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has a skit that I watched that I really enjoyed. Is a skit where they're giving free money out to the homeless so that the homeless can come back in and buy beer from them. They're like, it's great. We'll take the money and then we'll give it to the homeless. And then the homeless will have to come and buy beer from us with that money. And they're like, we're stimulating the economy. But there's this moment where they realize they're actually just kind of throwing that beer away. They're just losing beer. They're not really making money. They're losing beer. So it was like a lambasting of, Keynesian economics. Yeah, if the government just spends money and gives it to poor people, then the poor people will buy stuff, and that's good for the economy. It's like, no, it's not. You just lose your beer. Ooh, nice. It says 85 on my Cyber weight, but I paid it. Miss Sarah, let me correct that. Sorry about that. You're all good on that. I just left that up there like a doofball. There we go. Boop. All right, that's clear. That would have been figured out very fast. So, and here's Mr. Javier. But let me take a quick look at this with Mr. Blake. Let's see. It sounds like you made a counter offer. Let's see. So buy back the buy back the Nidorino Nido King for $105, which is just like $1 more than what it was offered anyways. So that's fine. Yeah, I don't mind rounding it to 105. And then ship my bag of cards. Oh, are you saying including the shipping fee? All right, there we go. I don't know if I understood that. All right. I'm sorry, man. I don't really want to negotiate on the buyback on those slabs, all right? All right, so Mr. Javier, let me get you that box. Thank you. Time to look for a new slab away. Ooh, Miss Sarah slab away. Let's grab this and we'll snip this. All right. That was a good one. They were giving out vouchers. No one was actually paying cash. They were just coming in to get the vouchers, so they were giving out free beer. Yeah, and basically it was kind of a funny conversation because what he was doing was he was explaining some of the basic concepts behind Keynesian economics, which is a strong belief that the government should spend money to get the economy moving, right? To create some sort of money velocity. So the government creates a demand for goods, and then people have to go create those goods, like maybe like a road, right? So people start working, and now the construction workers are getting paid. Well, they go out and they buy stuff. So the belief is that, you can spur the economy on, a bad economy, by actually having the government spend money. And it's not always a bad idea, actually. Sometimes that works. My opinion is this works when it's truly an investment, what the government is buying. So it has to be something that everyone benefits from, that we all chip in for, and then that the government buys. The problem with that is people tend to take it too far. They tend to say, well, here's what the government should buy. The government should buy my groceries for me. The government should buy my home for me. The government should buy my education for me. And the government should buy my health care too. So that's when it goes too far, and that's typically the debate ground. But people who strongly believe that the economy is driven by the government spending money, they might be part of Keynesian economic philosophy because they believe that's fundamentally good. So the guys are actually talking about that concept, that theory in that episode. They're saying, hey, if we just give them these vouchers and they come buy the beer, it's like, it's good for the whole economy. It stimulates everything. But they realize that they're really just losing beer. They're just losing beer. And that's exactly what the critics of Keynesian economics would say. They would say, yeah, the government spends all this money that it took from you, and then, okay, here, I'll make sure that we get this all to Mr. Javier. The government spends all this money that it took from you on stimulating the economy. Maybe it handed out checks or something, and then people buy all this stuff. Really, all you've done is you've lost all the stuff. That's all you've done. You've just handed stuff out for free. And it's like a clear view of an often like obfuscated, is that the right word? Obfuscated, I think that's how you say it, concept. Like, if you use enough words, it gets really complicated to understand why it might not be a good idea for the government to buy stuff from people, but it's pretty straightforward. It's because the government has to spend your money to buy those things. So it takes that money away from you and buys it. So if the government takes your money away and buys somebody else a house, the government's now just in the business of giving out free homes. And it afforded this by taking it from you. And, so a lot of people don't catch on to that kind of stuff very well. So I love it when a show can do that, when a show can depict a problem very easily. Ooh, the Gold Dawn for Mr. Javier. Mr. Javier sniping the Gold Dawn. There we go. If you ever watched it, you ain't got nothing to watch. You need to check it out, see what you think about it. Oh, I might enjoy it. Yeah, I guess I've always known about it, but I never really got into it. As an Australian, I found American healthcare insane. I took my daughter to the hospital today for a broken arm, and it cost me $250. $250? What is that, like one Charizard? Cheap, bro. It is. Well, here are your thoughts, Mr. Skrill. You think $250? If I was back in Australia, it would be free, right? Quote, free. But you have to understand, if you're going to compare our healthcare costs, you also have to compare our taxations. So in Australia, you guys will pay a very heavy tax to have free healthcare. In America, you do not pay a heavy tax for free healthcare. So you save $250 when your daughter has a broken arm, but you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars over time to the increase in taxes. That is not a good trade. And the better paid you are as a worker, the worse that trade gets. There's actually two ways it's bad. So in America, or in Australia, if you're very healthy, that means when you pay your taxes for everyone else's healthcare, you made smart, healthy choices for your body, and you took care of yourself, and now you get to pay for everyone else who didn't want to do that. And the second part to it, if you're a very high-paid worker, you're paying in the top bracket, so it's really you just losing your market skill, which is valuable. So the market's deemed that you should be wealthy because you have a valuable skill. You're losing that to everyone else because you're just told you're supposed to do that. And that's a good thing. And that is the basic argument always for communism and socialism, is that it's fundamentally a good thing for daddy government to come in and take your money and give it to someone else. But it almost never creates a strong economy in the long run. It almost always ends up with an imbalance in the spending. You run out of money. You run out of other people's money. And it never actually fixes the wealth gap between the rich and the poor. It just shows up anyways. So there's almost always a continuous struggle between the rich and poor. What does create cheap medicine, though, is lots and lots and lots of people producing that medicine. So if you got everyone working in healthcare at the same time, this would actually drive price down as the amount of laborers go up. So if you injected 10 million doctors into the labor market, the cost of doctors goes down. If you injected 25 new drug makers, the cost of the drugs go down. So higher productivity, that's my belief, is the solution. Higher productivity. And how do you increase productivity? Usually with incentives like profits. You say, hey guys, being a nurse is very high paying. Being a doctor is very high paying. So the market demand pushes people toward being a doctor and nurse because they see what's paying. And then as the pay structure goes down, they go, well, wait a second, being a banker pays more money. So people start heading into banking. So that's a simple supply and demand equation that has always worked pretty well instead of having government intervention. All right, that's for Javier Arroyo. Slight misunderstanding of the Discord message. Just trying to get shipped out tonight. No problem, man. When it comes to the shipping, it actually will not be out till Monday, just so you know. Miss Alexis, she does the shipping, and she's back in on Monday. So, but we can get you shipped out tonight. I don't mind. We'll get it done tonight. Let me grab, Mr. Javier Arroyo's bag. Javier, you got your own bag over here. So my belief is the solution to high prices is more productivity. We need more doctors. We need more nurses, and we need people motivated to go into those fields. I also think the solution to the wage gap, the sort of like wealth gap, so the solution is to have many, many more CEOs. That's my solution to that. I think that there has to be many young people who are inspired and they want to be wealthy and they want to take on loads of responsibility and a tough work schedule. And so if there were 20 CEOs, all the sales would be divided by 20 CEOs. But I think what's really going on is there's only one CEO for one mega corporation. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that people do not want to be CEO. They do not want to open up a business, and they just won't do it. So as a result, there's just a tiny, tiny, tiny handful of CEOs. They get all the profits from the sales. So yeah, if you were to divide that by a bunch more CEOs, the pay would go down for that job. And it's one of the highest paying jobs is to be business owner or CEO because so few people are willing to do it. And again, that to me just indicates supply and demand again. And people need to be told, look, that is the market telling you there is a lack of supply of CEOs. So it's not that they're overpaid, it's that there's so few of them. So you should go be one and accept $6 to $8 million a year as your paycheck. And don't be unconfident about it. Go do it. Go jump into, it's probably amazing to get paid 6 to 8 million or whatever it is they get paid these days. How many spots are left on the jungle break? Wouldn't you agree that you should support public education to get people into healthcare and harder forms of work? Again, socialism and communism are always rooted in very good intentions. And I think there is some cases where there's like a public good that everyone benefits from. Maybe that's basic education. But, if you want to go to school for like ballerina dancing, I think you should pay for that. And if you want to go to school to learn math and reading, I don't mind paying for that. So there's some really specific details here because college in America is like a 4-year vacation for teenagers. They go to college, they get to have sex, they get to have beer parties, fraternities, and then they can take like a really stupid degree that's not worth anything. There's a lot of useless degrees, right? And then they can force me to pay for it. That's not right. I don't want to pay for stupid degrees. So maybe a couple of degrees that are good for the whole country, like computer science, nursing, doctor, maybe those should be socialized in order to create further incentives toward the kind of work we want people going into. But I do not want to pay for all degrees. And I also don't want to pay for all degrees at all colleges. So if you want me to pay for like free government college courses, that's fine. But do you want me to pay for free Harvard courses? I do not want to do that. That's up to you to pay for because you're going to Harvard. That's a private degree you're going to earn, and you're going to privately keep all the profits from that degree. So that's for you to pay down, not me, because I don't get any of the benefits from your degree. So you get to be a millionaire with your Harvard degree, not me. And I just think that's not crazy. People treat you like you're crazy if you say that stuff. If you say you don't want to pay for someone else's Harvard degree, they treat you like you're crazy. It's not crazy at all. And the fact that everyone puts that pressure on you to pay for it, I think is part of a sort of like normalization of thieving. Sometimes socialism's like organized theft. Like I shouldn't have to pay for your own home. That's your home. That's not my home. And there's many things I shouldn't have to pay for you. You've got your life. I've got my life. We're two separate people. We're not family. You got to pay for your own things. That's crazy, bro. He's a jerk. Hunter tipped in 20 packs of Pokemon White. Japanese. You got it, man. Japanese. All right. Saying that kind of stuff now gets you like in trouble, basically, because everyone's sort of on the train of, and especially nowadays, because everyone's so poor and struggling to get by. So the siren song, the siren music of a centrally controlled government and heavy social welfare programs and free this and free that and Santa Claus and the government, the siren song of socialist redistribution is here and people are buying into it. They're like, yeah, all my problems could be solved if you could just take money from one guy and give it to me. It's solved. Problem solved. When has the government spent money in a good way? The government's $35 trillion in debt. It's been taking money from our grandparents, our parents, and us for like 100 years. What did they build with all that money? Where did it all go? Where did all the money go? What did they do with $35 trillion of debt? Where did it all go? And now you propose we give them more money? Like, bro, the government's the problem. Giving the government more money is just giving them, more access to your life and making houses harder for you to buy because now you're paying more taxes. And then I guarantee you they're going to waste it. Maybe it will take one president, 2 presidents, 3 presidents, but eventually they will destroy it all. The problem is that the government gets to have so much money. They've proven that they're incompetent. That's the issue, that the government is so involved. Yeah. Let's snip this. You ready? All right. How come some of the best, most profit-making businesses be governmentally owned? Isn't it the exact opposite way? Isn't it the exact other way around? The most profitable companies in all of America are privately owned companies. Here it is. And the government runs things like USPS into the ground. Like USPS just operates on huge losses. They don't innovate. They don't obtain the same talent that companies like FedEx and UPS obtain. DHL, right? So yeah, the government, and why would that happen, by the way? Is there an explanation for that? I do have an explanation. The smartest people in the world do not get elected by average people. The smartest people in the world go into competition in the business market, the private market, and they get into positions of power because they were competent. When you're a politician, you have to have a big white smile. You have to have blue eyes. You have to kiss the baby on the forehead. I love babies. I love babies, and I'm here for you. And I'll take their money, and I'll give it to you. So that's a politician. So they're schmoozers, you know. They go around, they go, I love you, man. You vote for me. Vote for me. They're popularity people. They're cheerleaders. They're manipulators and liars too. Here we go. Hunter Tipton, like Trump saying, I'll end the war in one day. They're liars. And businessmen are not. They're performers. They go out and they create stuff. They produce. They produce, and they do so like a competition. So because the two jobs are so very different, being a politician and getting elected into power to run a business like USPS versus actually having to have like cutting edge technology and skill, this is no wonder that the private industry outperforms the government hand over fist and always has. And when the government gets out of the way of private industry goes faster. It builds new things faster, but it can also cause problems. People are scared of private industry, probably rightfully so, because industry likes to cut corners and pollute and do stuff like that, abuse its workers, pollute. So, government should regulate business, but government should not run business. So that's the way I see the role of the government in private industry. Bouffalant. The people who should run businesses are people who love that particular subject, like a technologist should be in charge of technology, computer scientist or whatever, right? Programmer should be doing the programming. Governors should just be in charge of making sure people are following the rules and making sure that there are common sense rules to protect the welfare of, people who have to share the land with these companies that produce all this pollution. So I think the government's role as an environmental protector is very reasonable and very smart. You ready? Hunter Tipton, you getting close? USPS is not a high profit business. USPS is one of the highest profit businesses in the United States. I swear that's not true. Hold on. How much money does USPS lose every year? I swear they ran a deficit. Here it is. Each year, the United States Postal Service operates at a net loss. Wow. Primarily driven by rising fixed obligations like unfunded retiree pension liabilities. By the way, so it says here, in 2024, USPS had a $9.5 billion net loss. There you go. So not only are they not the most profitable company, they actually don't have any profit. They have $9 billion of losses, which is covered by the government with taxes. So it can't go out of business. If it was a normal company, it would have gone out of business like that. But since it's ran by the government, it can't go out of business. So the government just says, $9 billion loss, whatever. It's other people's money, no problem. We'll cover it with our tax money. So they lose $9 billion a year. They're a horrible company. And it explained the reason for that is because the pensions are too big. So the USPS hands out generous pensions that it can't actually afford to hand out. It doesn't actually make enough money to hand those pensions out. So it's like if your company made $100 a year and then it promises you can retire and receive $200 a year. It's like, oops, shouldn't have done that. What? You make less than you give out to your retirees. And so it really is just another government program in that way, isn't it? Simisear. There it is. They just don't paper allocate money in a way that makes it look like they're losing. The thing that's crazy about all the $1 billion that we're in debt is it spent on stupid stuff in other countries that doesn't even benefit. That's what I get so indignant about, Cody. The government's been taxing our grandparents, our parents, our great-grandparents, and ourselves all these years, and they have nothing to show for it. All these years later, where's the grand thing that the government built? There's no such thing. They never built it. We have like a big military, I suppose. I don't know what the government does with all our money. I think a lot of it just goes to the elderly at this point, though. So we have a big boomer population. The boomers, they had the best economy ever. The best economy that the world ever saw, the boomers. And now they need all of the young people's money. to pay for their medicine because they did not save any of their money. They just spent. So we need to pay for all their stuff. And super old boomers like Bernie Sanders has convinced young people that, yeah, that's the way to do it. And it's like a lot of young people have been hypnotized into agreeing that socialized medicine's a good thing. It's actually terrible for young people. No one uses medicine less than young people. When you're young, you almost virtually don't need it. When you're very old, you use like 90% of the cost of the medicine. So the elderly group, the boomer generation, uses almost all the money for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all the other stuff they want more funding for. They want socialized healthcare for. You're young, you're anxious, you have health anxiety. Some young people do have legitimate health problems. This is why I think the government should introduce a socialized healthcare system that takes care of people up to the end of their working years, and then afterwards it needs to be your responsibility, you and your family's responsibility. So people should not completely rely on the government to take care of them. But let's say we were to introduce socialized healthcare, it would make a lot of sense to just repair people who are injured and sick when they are still working and producing a tax revenue. But after a certain point, I'm not talking from your heart, I'm talking only from the pocketbook. From a pocketbook perspective, after a person has stopped paying taxes, it does not make sense to repair them anymore when they're ill. So I'm talking like a robot right now, not like a human being, but like a robot, like as if I was playing a video game and I'm looking at all the rules and the game mechanics in the video game. If you wanted to do a socialized healthcare, certain types of healthcare is technically an investment for the government because the government will recuperate some of that money from you when you go back to work and continue paying taxes. However, it's not always an investment. And when does that investment end? What ends when a person is a net tax loss? Well, they're definitely a net tax loss as they age, because at a certain point, you no longer contribute to the system at all. You strictly take from the system. So the government really could hand out socialized healthcare to young people, and it would be all right. But if it continued to do so as you stretched on into the 60s, 70s, and 80s when you're retired, now you're a net tax loss, and it's actually young people who have to pay for you. Young people who already cannot afford homes, they cannot afford college, they cannot afford a car, they can't afford anything. So it's sort of like the old vampiring on the young. If you have a heart, you go, oh man, grandma and grandpa cannot just go out on the street. That's horrible. We're not a first world country if it comes to that. But if you're just thinking like with the gamer brain, right? You're playing a video game and you're looking at every single rule and optimizing, then you go, okay, this is the next smartest move for the government. So, but we don't think that way. So I know that will never be popular. It'll never happen. People will push for the socialized healthcare. And my belief is the government will definitely bankrupt us. So that's my prediction for the future, by the way. I do not believe in a non-bankrupted country. What will happen is the dollar will go to zero. That's why you have to buy stuff. You're forced to buy stuff, actually. You must buy a home, any property at all, land even. You must buy gold. You must buy, could be collectibles, fine art, collectible vehicles. But you must buy a real thing. Could be stocks even as well. Because stocks, the price is just relative to whatever the value. But the dollar itself is going to zero for sure, because this government will be voted in to continue to spend. That's what the government will be voted in to do. So that's my prediction: is you will see massive inflation over the years, and it will just get more and more severe as the years go by. Okay, Mr. Blake, he says. Okay, sounds good, Mr. Blake. So let's do that with the Nido King in the Neat Arena. He would like to get a shipping round. Give it a minute here. All right. I will set these here. And let's get you a level. Cards in the wrong bag. Cards in the wrong bag. Sounds like I put the cards in the wrong bag. So, let me fix that real fast. Hunter Tipton's 20 packs of Pokemon White. I think we opened so many packs for Sarah Dusenberry that we have just given her the black and white cards. Here you go, Mr. Hunter. All right. Let's grab those. The easy part of this is that she only has one-piece cards in here. So any Pokemon card, we know it belongs to Mr. Hunter. Good catch, guys. Here we are. Set that there. Okay. And Shazam. There we go. Fries in the wrong bag. There you go. Very nice. Let's go grab Hunter Tipton's bag. Ugh. Hunter Tipton. Appreciate it, man. Ugh. Let's see. Harley, Mr. Hawk, Hunter Tipton. I don't see your bag here. He says new bag. Ooh, let's get you a new bag. Ugh. I can't say nothing to Tammy. I kind of helped contribute to the rent. Here we are. We'll grab this. Very nice. All right. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. And we'll place this in here. Wow, I can't believe it's almost 6 and the sun's all the way up. Can you believe it? We had a pretty crazy stream, huh? Very nice. I really hate autocorrect, says Cody. All right, so Mr. Blake needs his label. Let's go ahead and grab this. All right, so Mr. Blake, we're going to hit print, but it's going to update the date on this. We're going to click print. Very nice. Stamps has encountered an error. Wow, Stamps is awful. In a lot of Scandinavian countries, they do that with teeth care. It's subsidized until the age of 23. Oh, there you go. So that's very fascinating to hear. So in Scandinavia, they will take care of your teeth when you're young. Believe it or not, America has that a little bit. So that's one of the misconceptions about America, is that there is no help for the young. There is actually government-funded dental places that will help you if you're young and don't have a lot of money. And how do I know this? Because I actually received help. When I was in college, there was a dental school that gave me very cheap and affordable dental care. And it was partially funded by the government, and I had to pay for it too. But it was a lot cheaper than standard healthcare or standard dental care. And so all you have to do is prove that you're like a student or that you don't have a big income or anything. And then after you've proven that, they will allow you to get on a list to have your teeth fixed. So I had that when I was like maybe 24. I think I was 24. But you had to have proof that you were a student, basically. And then they took you in and they gave you much, much cheaper dental care. And the people who did the dental care, they weren't like super experienced dentists. Although I did get one that was really experienced. Many times they were like, you know, they were training to be a dentist. So it was kind of like, it made sense. Made sense. So Blake, we got this. We got your beautiful Eevee, which will be shipped home to you. And you've got $95. Let me write that down real fast, Mr. Blake. All right. Set this here. I wish there was more places like that. The only one that's near me, I've been on a waiting list for 2 years and never heard anything back about it. Whoa. Yeah, I guess I'd never thought about that. So maybe you can live in a place with a horrible wait list. Where I lived, there was no wait list at all. However, it was like 45-minute drive every single time. So I didn't like that. But, you know, so I made the drive. I had a rusty old truck, and I made the drive and saved an enormous amount of money on my dental care while I was in college. Edwin says, to glory of Team Rocket. And I implore you guys to do that. I've talked about that on my live stream multiple times. So if you're young and you're scared about your teeth, you will feel so much better if you just go get them worked on. Always better to get your cavities filled. Don't let them become root canals. Do not let them become tooth pull. Go work on your cavities. Cavities are very easy. They're very painless. And so to get that fixed, you have to work on them right away. So work on them early. But even if your cavities have been around for a while and you're worried about root canals, don't wait for that either. Just go get it worked on. You know, you want to keep all your teeth. You want to have a beautiful smile. You will pay less money the sooner you start working on it all. And again, what I would do is get a list of all the local dental schools and ask them if they have like a pay scale sort of like cost rate for people who are uninsured. And they will let you know if they have like government funding where you're allowed to get on a list in order to get the cheaper dental work. Edwin with an E. Besides that, be sure you're brushing and flossing, guys. It saves a lot of money. If you want to have money left over for Pokemon, that means you like to brush and floss. All right, here we are. All right. I want some grills. Studies also show that pretty people get jobs easier and get paid more. Yeah, I've heard that too, actually. All right, Mister, do you have any Suicune or Entei poker cards in the 10s? Suicune. Yeah, we've got some Suicunes right here. Here it is. So here's a Suicune right there, 210. I want some grills. Every time I contact them, they say that the queue is full and they don't know when it will be empty. Try reaching out to some other dental schools if you can find them. I would do some research on it. All right, so give me a second here. Let's see. Okay, so Mr. Blake is saying he wanted it to be a cash offer for the 2 cards. Give me a second here. Okay. Let me get in contact with you. All right, there we go. So, whew, all right. And that's done. Let's jump over here. We have an order, Tyler McCansh. He says 15 Poke Shuffles and shipping. Tyler McCansh. You got it, Mr. Tyler. Let me set these here for a moment. Ooh, so Tyler, he was the guy who did really big donations of the YouTube memberships. It's wild to me that people who drink and smoke and do drugs literally pay to get their health care or get their health decreased. 1, 2, 3. It's complicated, you know, it's complicated. I think I've heard about people who live to 100 years old who do drink a little bit. I've heard about that. And I don't think it's necessarily because the alcohol is good for you. I think it's because of the socializing. I think the socializing probably does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Because a lot of the times they found that those people who lived to 100 years old, they had a lot of friends. So having friends might actually keep you alive, guys. All right, let's see. Ooh, please turn into something. 2 live. And Arbok. Ooh, the Arbok. Okay, so the 2 live goes back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you know, if you don't want to drink and you don't want to smoke, but you still want to have something that makes you feel good, the studies show over and over and over again that having a healthy sex life leads to a much longer lifespan. Isn't that interesting? Like the, I got to sneeze. Like the elixir of life, the fountain of youth. They've discovered it. It's having a healthy sex life. And that's too cold, Live Customs. I'm sorry, man. That might be a little bit of a cold round on those Poke Shuffles. There we go. I had one bothering me so bad last year and had to wait 3 months to get an appointment at the dentist office, and I ended up having to pay $850 to have 1 tooth taken care of. Oh, man, that's too much. All right, well, you got to get that dental insurance, man. All right, so let's grab that Arbok. I know exactly what it is. Ready? You got to get a full-time job, which you might already have, and then at that full-time job, you need to sign up for their dental care, which they will pull from your paycheck for you. very often, wherever you work, they tend to offer like a dental plan and a healthcare plan that tend to be cheaper than if you bought it by yourself, because this business that you're working for, they will be given like a package, like a deal for having so many people sign up for that same healthcare. Here you go, Tyler. I'm sorry to hear you're working on that, though. You know, I had, yours truly had a lot of dental problems. When I was young, my family was always on the brink of losing their home. And maybe that's what sends me into this hard work mode, this survival mode. But we were always this close to losing our home. So we had dental problems, and we would occasionally have like a teeth checkup. And the last one I had, maybe I was about 15, the dentist found several cavities between my teeth. Guess what? I didn't floss that much. So I didn't like to floss. I kind of still don't like flossing, actually, to tell you the truth. But those were small cavities when I was like 15, and they grew into colossal cavities by the time I was 24. Because guess what? When I ran away from home, I didn't take care of any of it. I couldn't afford to. So it got really bad, and I reached a point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. And so I started doing a lot of work and research, and I got recommended by a nurse to go to this further away dental school, and they saved me, man. They got it all done. They got it done at a price that I could afford. It really helped. So I'm thankful for that. Here it is. All right, toss that over there. Let's get that label made. All right, Tyler. Yeah, but my parents could not afford any dental work on us at all. So they were just like, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, because they didn't want us to have any problems. And I did brush my teeth, but I did not always floss because I didn't like flossing. It's like, ah, man, flossing. That's too much work. We are. All right. My sister's born with a genetic disease and couldn't get a single form of insurance in the States when it comes to health. I'm sorry to hear that. So was that before Obamacare? Obamacare is the public option, and they're not allowed. They changed some rules when Obamacare came out that said healthcare companies cannot deny you healthcare on pre-existing conditions. So that was a pretty significant change. It is. I remember that because that was a very big deal back in the day, back in the early 2000s. When they changed that rule, that was a big deal. That was before Obama's time. Almost my whole family has now moved away from the States. Yeah, that's, I understand it. As a business, they don't want to cover somebody who's not going to be profitable, which is maybe the problem in general with the idea of healthcare insurance, is this idea that they're going to provide insurance, but it has to be profitable. So if you're unprofitable, they're looking to not provide to you. All right, there it goes. It's like if you're a car that they know is going to crash, they don't want to provide car insurance to you either. They're like, I don't want to provide car insurance to you. You're going to get crashed. We know you're going to crash. So we got to kick you out, or we can't make record profit for the shareholder. That's the controversy of it, right? Like any kind of insurance is a lottery. Insurance is gambling. That's what it is. It always has been. Insurance is gambling. It's a gamble where the company tries to make money on protecting you from a bad situation, and they want to overcharge you for you to have protection from a bad situation. And so everyone pays into the insurance. Some people have the bad thing happen, and then they're paid out like a lottery as a result. So the bad thing happened to you. The odds occurred to you, and now you get the payout. And so that's what insurance is. It's a different form of gambling, a different form of lottery. And it's like a bad lottery, where if you're the winner, maybe you died in a car crash. But they don't want anyone who's going to get a payout to actually play that lottery. They want to kick you out if you're going to win. Technically lose. All right, let me get you that, Mr. Blake. Let me ask you... all right, I'm going to get you that Cash App name. A top loader for the Tops Squirrel. Let's see. We just placed you over here, right? Tops Squirrel. Take a quick look at that. For the Tops Squirrel, this would not normally be a card that we put into a top loader, but I'll do it anyways. Let's get it. Might have a cheap one, actually. Let's see. Will this actually cover the card? I think it does. So this is one I got from Japan for free. We are. Oh, yeah. We're in business. All right, cool, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Blake. Allstate made $4.2 billion in profits in 2024. Yeah, and so this is a controversial thing because it means that they provided insurance in a way where you were protected, yes, but you paid a little too much for that protection, and so did everyone else, and that adds up into billions of dollars of overpayment. So people want insurance to be handled in a way that it's a non-profit, so everyone pays into the insurance, and the people who get injured or sick, they get the payout. They ding 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 ding, 4 cherries, you've got cancer, so they get the payout, and they don't want any profit involved in this. That might be possible. I think the counter argument is something like, well, if the government runs the insurance program, maybe they won't run it very effectively. Maybe they'll be wasteful. Maybe they will, because insurance companies work very hard to make sure that insurance is paid out very carefully. Maybe the government will be very sloppy with it, or maybe the government will somehow be worse than the insurance companies. So that's some of the arguments, is that the government won't do it as well as the insurance companies do. All right, let's see. That's my reason for supporting socialized healthcare, even though I'm a Republican, because I think we all should have equal opportunities in life, but not the same outcomes. I have a different philosophy. So my philosophy is you cannot empty out the treasury. So that's it. Hard stop. 100% hard stop. If we go broke, there is no country. And then we go back to just feuding people, and then, small kingdoms breaking into pieces. Maybe Texas becomes a country, maybe California becomes a country, then we do some war with each other, and then a new country is made. So if this country goes broke, it's all over. I don't care what anyone's brilliant plan is. I don't care about, oh, Jesus says I have to pay for your broken leg. I don't care about any of that crap. You cannot go broke. The country cannot go broke. So that's my hard stop. All right, so let's see. I have Venmo and Zelle and PayPal. Let's do PayPal then. I think PayPal will do good. Mr. Blake. Thank you. Got this. The country will go bankrupt, and then it will fall to pieces, and then you'll get a new country, but not before we all become extremely poor. Because if your country collapses, you become extremely poor. The system collapses, all investments are withdrawn, the wealthy people take flight, and the whole thing collapses. So that's what will really happen if the country runs out of money. So whatever your brilliant plan is, it has to include the country staying, solvent, or whatever the term is. It just has to. It doesn't matter how much you love Santa Claus, how much, eat the rich, doesn't matter what your clever idea is, your slogan. Everyone's got slogans, man. Republican and Democrat, they all got slogans. Does not matter to me. It has to be that we do not go broke. And that's my official position on those kinds of things. Okay. Here you go. Shaboom. All right, you're paid out. Insurance companies just refuse to pay out on many occasions, which is also why their profits are so high. I believe you, actually. I believe you on that. I believe the insurance companies are greedy, and they will just try not to pay out, even in scenarios where they really ought to. And that's a horrible thing, because you're in this state where you can't reject medical treatment. Your dad's dying of cancer. Oh, sorry, we don't cover that. Okay, I guess my dad will die. What? You can't do that. So it's very sensitive, and government has to make sure that this system works very well, in my opinion, or you're going to lose the social contract, which is kind of what the Luigi guy is. So everyone supported the Luigi guy murdering the CEO. Not everyone. For example, I don't really support that. I don't really think that the solution is to start killing people, in the streets, shooting them in the back of the head with a gun. Just shoot all the CEOs in the back of the head with a gun. Yeah, it's like, if you want things to get real nasty, because they're not fighting back right now, but if they wanted to, it would get very nasty. So the violence isn't the solution. A better system's the solution, which has to be talked about, and politicians have to run on those messages, and then they also have to come through with their promises. But people perceive healthcare as a scam. They perceive it as greedy corporations preying on the weak and the poor and the needy. and is very unchristian. I don't think any religion supports the idea of it. I'm pretty sure Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, none of them would support what insurance companies effectively do. So, maybe a one-payer system with the government running the insurance would make more sense. So, in other words, you get rid of all the private insurers, and you only have one insurer, Obamacare. And then maybe because it's a single insurer, they're able to sort of bully the healthcare industry a little more, say, we're not paying for that. You will accept $500 for this surgery, or we won't pay for it at all, and we'll punish you in some way. Or I don't know. Because I think that's what Germany does. Germany does something like that. They have a one-payer system, it's called. That's what Bernie Sanders advocated for. Here's the thing. I'm open-minded to experimentation. I'm a kind of guy who likes to experiment. I like experimentation. It just has to work in the end. It has to work. And America's healthcare industry has been complained about for a very long time. I think people are probably ready for that experiment. And if the experiment involves making it illegal to sell health insurance or making Obamacare much stronger or whatever it is, I'm open-minded. I'd like to see something new tried. I'm still pretty young. If you're old and you're very unhealthy, you probably don't want it played around with too much, because if you've already got a sub going, you're like, don't touch it. Don't touch it. I need this. But if you're young and you're ready to experiment, and then again, maybe the experiment benefits you. So anyone it would benefit, they would want it too. But yeah, whatever the change is, though, again, my hard stop is you cannot make the country go bankrupt. And I promise you, what people really want always is to bankrupt the country. They want everything for free. And it's kind of a sad thing, because I think it's a very modern perspective. I think of the world right now, Americans in particular, like sickly Victorian children. We're all obese. I'm out of shape. I'm working on it. I worked out today. We're all obese. We all smoke. We all drink. We're all eating McDonald's all day. Colon cancer on the rise. We're all exposed to whatever brain waves and microplastics. It's very bad. It's a very bad situation. And so I view us as sickly Victorian children who have inherited a wonderful country, and we are probably going to squander it like hell because we don't know how to manage ourselves. We don't know how to manage our own pocketbooks. And so we're going to vote that way too. We're going to vote in a way where hopefully the government is Santa Claus and it just works. I don't know. But it doesn't work that way. There's these harsh realities to the world. You have as much money as you produced. So if you want more money, you must produce more money. That's it. You have to produce. China's producing like crazy. That's why they're going to be so wealthy. They produce goods all day long. We don't. We just consume. So we're going to be broke for sure. And I'm betting on it. That's my bet, is that America's going to go broke for sure. So I'm betting on it. You're starting to be stricter about food laws in the U.S. I do support that. So if the government came in, daddy government, because we're like babies. Like I said, sickly Victorian children. If the government wanted to socialize healthcare, I do support that. All that they have to do, they have to start banning sugar products. They have to start banning obesity. They have to start banning the smoking and the drinking. And that might include weed too. So the government has to crack down on vices real heavy. I'm talking real heavy. Just start, hey, this clearly causes cancer, diabetes, lung collapse, heart disease. So we're going to start taxing the shit out of it. It's going to be so expensive to do this now. And so if the government were to come in and start doing that and use that money for socialized healthcare, I might vote for that. That might be all right. And then everyone will cry that they don't get to do their, bad habits. They'll be like, the government's just gone too far. I can't smoke and drink while I drive. It's crazy. What's a man going to do when he can't drink a beer and drive? Remember, did you see that commercial? Crazy. Or not commercial, that interview. Yeah, I'm a strict kind of person. That's my personality. So I don't mind it if the government wanted to get strict and we all just cleaned up our act. That sounds great. I mean, imagine we were all just a much healthier country with cheaper healthcare. Wow, we'd live longer lives, less heartbreak, and less conversation about this. We could start talking about building rockets and stuff. Cool stuff. But we're busy talking about how we're all broke and we're all sick. So it's really kind of a tragic thing, and more of a sign of the nature of humanity, which is we head toward comfort and away from pain. And strictness heads you toward the pain where you should be. Being in pain to accomplish your goals is excellent. So those are, I think about this stuff all day long, actually. Anyways, no orders in queue, mister? Yes, no orders in the queue. It's time to wrap up, I'm sure. Technically, most food companies should be mandated to pay into public health care every year. I would love that. If you're a healthcare company, or if you're a food company like Coca-Cola, and you serve, high fructose corn syrup soda all day long, and we know for a fact you are a significant contributor to diabetes, which kills people early all the time, but not before they have to lose all their money in the healthcare system. Let's tax this shit out of Coca-Cola. Let's say, guess what? You like selling corn syrup? We like taxing corn syrup at 1,000,000%. So, we know what it does. It's toxic. It's like a pure toxin. What's the upside? Go eat fruit if you need sugar. Go eat fruit. Go have some fruit. Go have like a cookie or something. I don't know. But even the cookie is not that good for you. But you're just drinking liquid corn syrup. That's insanity, isn't it? It's 2025. Who's still doing that? Liquid corn syrup with many preservatives and food dyes. All right, there's your secret Krabby Patty formula. Tax the hell out of these guys and use that money to help people with their health care. Of course, our government won't do that. Our government can't even fund Social Security. All the money you pay for Social Security is already gone. The Social Security bank is empty. So they take money out of your check and call it Social Security money. That's all gone. They've already spent it all. They're $35 trillion in debt, and they always spend more than they bring in every single year. That's why there's a debate over raising the debt ceiling every year, because they always spend more than they bring in. So it's a very dark financial perspective, and it's just going to keep getting worse unless Americans demand that the government spend only what it brings in, and Americans demand a healthier country, which we won't, because we will demand drugs. That's what we will demand. And that's what I'm betting. I'm actually betting on the bad nature of humanity, not the good nature. Now, the good side is there's a lot of good people working on technology like AI. So AI can save us. AI and technology will save us if we're lucky. If we're unlucky, it won't. So anyways, but I'm betting on the average human being having a pretty poor ability to manage themselves, pretty poor ability to resist drugs, and a pretty poor management of their retirement account. So that is my bet on humanity. So that's what I think will happen. All right, guys, riveting conversation where I get to just go blah, 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 blah. And I better hop off now, huh? Insurance companies should not be for profit. Things just like how many college closed because they were for profit. Mister, since you're not too busy, if it doesn't take much effort, could you tell me how much it would cost to get faster grading with BGS? I'm just curious and trying to figure it out. You're looking to have me ship one card at a higher tier with BGS. I feel like at that point, I could just send it home to you. That could work too. I think if I was to do it for you, one card to BGS, not only would you have to pay a fee of me shipping it out and the return shipping for one card, which would be very high, but because it's just a one card submission, you'd be paying like a $20 service fee to me as well. Because, it's like this whole job for one tier of grading. And I would, maybe I could do less than 20 actually. Maybe I'd do like 15 or something. But so it would just be like really expensive just to get it back a little faster. Is it sure that's worth it? I think that would be a waste. All right, let me hop off, guys. I'm going to hop off. It is 6:16. We're ending much, much later. But, we were talking about a big subject, the healthcare subject. I'll see you tomorrow for the Saturday nighttime stream. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And thank you once again to Mr. LaFlame for the donations, and Tyler McCanch, and Mark Valerian. You've all been extremely nice to us. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you there.